Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
Looking for a checking account that's built for you? Whether you love earning cash back or don't want fees or a minimum balance requirement, Citadel Credit Union has you covered. Plus, get a $300 bonus. Easily deposit checks right from your phone. Receive instant account alerts to stay updated. And simply tap and go with your contactless debit card. For a limited time, get $300 when you open a new checking account at citadelbanking.com/radio. Citadel Credit Union. Building strength together. Federally insured by NCUA.
With NJ Diet, it only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds. Since NJ Diet is contractually guaranteed money-back program, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. NJ Diet uses bioenergetic, personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work that balances your hormones where the side effect is weight loss. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to keep it off. NJ Diet all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods, no surgery. Offices close by. Cherry Hill, King of Prussia, Princeton, and now open in Newark, Delaware. Or from home. Live online video consultations. Start your new journey this new year by calling NJ Diet, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com. 40 days, up to 40 pounds. 40 days, up to 40 pounds. 40 days. 40 pounds.
Chloe here with Cross Country Mortgage. Against all odds, CCM has just closed the Garcia's dream home in 21 days. I was able to speak with their top loan officer before they went into the locker room, and he said it was a matter of dedication. Ultimately, they leaned on their experience as a team. They've been here before. They've done all types of loans. Simply put, CCM loan officers know how to close as a team for your dream home. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done. Back to you in the studio. Cross Country Mortgage, LLC, NMLS 3029, www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing opportunity.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball and Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. On a Friday morning, where hopefully you will find a lot of joy and fun and laughs and entertainment factor. In the course of the morning, we will hopefully get you set up for a great weekend. I know Coach and Cam are ready for a big weekend. Connor is already out skiing this weekend. Jamie on a kidless vacation with his beautiful bride. So
what the hell are we doing here?
We're working. We're professional.
Oh, okay.
We're the professionals.
Either that or we're idiots.
What's great is when we go on vacation, Bob, it's a well-deserved respite. When other people do it, it's just they're not professional.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know the rules.
All right.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works. Hopefully everybody having a good start. Bradford White Water Heaters gives you a good start. There was hot water this morning. Beautiful hot water. Bradford White Water Heaters are here for the pro, and we appreciate them being a part of the John Kincade Show. So 4 years ago today, it is wedding day, birth of Olivia, and then I'm trying to think, is there anything I'd put ahead of February 4th, 2018? And in some ways, that sounds pathetic.
No, in a lot of ways it does, yeah.
I'm going. Wedding day, birth of my child. I'm trying to think of the moment that the moment that has brought me as much joy as February 4th, 2018. Enough that I have a standing purchase with the Bellagio to have the chair that I sat in when they redid the lounge. I am buying the chair that I sat in to watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And I absolutely love it. It was wonderful. It was one of the greatest, joyous moments of my life, and I could watch it over and over again anytime.
Yeah, that's what I got the most joy out of, was watching the reaction of the city and the fans and all of that. I was going through a weird time. My father-in-law had just passed a couple of days before that, so we had the whole family at our house. So it was kind of, a downtime, but at the same time, you're watching something happen that we never thought we'd see happen. So to watch my nieces and nephews and my kids, who are all Eagles fans, watching them during a really hard, time in their lives where they just lost their grandfather, watching them get joy out of that game, that was cool. I was at a time where I just sat back and watched the joy that other people had.
Was Donna's dad an Eagle fan?
That's why he died. No. He died because he never wanted to see me see the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
That's
bastard.
what it is. See, there you go.
He was actually a Dallas Cowboys fan.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of memories of this joyous day. Pat, wedding day, birth of your child.
Birth of my child, Eagles Super Bowl wedding day.
Yeah. Birth of your child, Eagles Super Bowl wedding day.
Yeah, wedding day. We already paid for it. I knew she was showing up. It's not that. I mean,
how about the day that I told you?
To say, but I mean, come on. Like you put that much money down in a deposit, she's showing up. You really got to worry about the next day when she wakes up and realizes she agreed to marry you. Really, the birth of my child and Eagles Super Bowl is closer than you think because we made a bet that
I remember,
if the Eagles won the Super Bowl, we would have a child. So they really go hand in hand together. But the birth of my child wins out because I was worried, about like health and whatnot, and he was a healthy kid. So, but yeah, birth of my child, Eagles Super Bowl wedding day.
So, I mean, now look, Bob, I have no problem if this is your opinion. I don't know, but I sometimes can't tell whether you joke or not. I am being completely serious when I talk about this date and how important it was to me as far as just, I always thought, I tell the story, I've told it before, every single day of her life, I told my daughter, but we'd say prayers as a family before she went to bed, and as a little girl, I'd say, dream of Daddy, your puppy dogs, and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. And then
you just left Christina out in the lurch there, didn't you?
By the time she was 5 or 6, 4, 5, or 6, she would repeat it. We would say it together because she had 2 dogs, and I said, and Daddy's going to be her favorite, and then that the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. And when they won the Super Bowl, it was overwhelming, just joy. And I never thought, and I'll tell you, I said many times when I was a cancer patient, and it didn't. There was around a 2.5 month period where it didn't look good, and I remember telling my mom, I can't believe I'm not the Eagles. I didn't see the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I remember, and that was before the Andy Reid era. I had cancer before the Andy Reid era, and then I thought I was going to say it over and over again. I thought I was going to say it.
Yeah,
it finally happened.
Look, I'm not being that wet blanket kind of a guy. Here's what I attribute it to, and I've told this story before. When I was like 17 years old and I had my friends, my basketball team, over my house to watch an Eagles-Cowboys game, I had an epiphany. I was watching those guys go crazy over a close football game, and it was cool. It was great.
Sure.
We were having fun. But at the same time, I started thinking, wait, I still have to go to basketball practice tomorrow. Our coach is going to run us to death because we didn't practice today. My girlfriend hates me because I'm having the guys over instead of spending time with her. How does a win really affect my personal life? And I did. I kind of looked at sports differently then, although I still rooted and loved the local teams, and that's where my interest was. Then as I got older, my professional life was, okay, if the Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, Eagles win this game, then what do I have to do for work? My immediate thought wasn't joy. I was like, where do I have to go? What do I have to write? What do I have to cover?
Plus, you had to be a dispassionate observer in some way, shape, or form to keep a level of objectivity.
Absolutely. And that's why...
Which is lost today, by the way, many media members, it's lost.
That's why sitting back and watching Anthony Gargano, watching Jamie, when we came in that morning after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, that was some of the funnest times of my life. You know, watching other people have joy is what brings me joy sometimes.
Did they have tears in their eyes?
Oh, Anthony was bombed when he came on air.
That is awesome.
He was walking down Broad Street drinking tequila and stuff. And, he was the epitome of how every Eagles fan should have felt the day after they won the Super Bowl.
Patty?
I was on the air, actually.
You were on the air when it happened?
Yeah, the bosses threw me on the air. I don't know if anyone was listening, but we basically we were told not to do play-by-play. We ended up doing play-by-play, let's be real. Sorry about that, Coach. But yeah.
He's right there.
I mean, hey, what is he going to do now? But yeah, we were on the air. Kind of started the in-game show that they have now. But the first time we did it was during the Super Bowl. And it was something I will never forget. Zuli produced me. And it was one of those moments that.
How did you watch the game?
So we watched it. We had the sound on faintly.
Okay.
I didn't have headphones on. I had a mic in front of me. It was probably the most unprofessional college radio show
wish
you
we
could ever
had
listen
it.
to. We do have it somewhere. We're not going to listen to it.
No. Could you find some of it?
I really don't want to.
Could you please?
It makes me cringe.
Could you please find some of it?
I'll look for some of it.
It's okay.
Also, we need to find Anthony coming on air at 6 a.m.
Okay. That would be fun.
I think my ears are still ringing from the screaming he was doing.
I got in an Uber as soon as the show was over, went down to Center City and hung out with friends.
I'm going to post a couple pictures. So I hosted a party at the Bellagio for Super Bowl 52 and like emceed it. And then like during TV timeouts, you're talking to people, giving away prizes, things like that. And after the show, I'm going to cash in all my tickets, and I went to gamble, and I was crying, talking to people on the phone, getting phone calls, crying, literally crying. And then before I was leaving to get in the car to go to McCarran, the gentleman goes, Mr. Kincade, wait, we got something for you, wait. And they came running out to me at the front with the giant Nick Foles head. There was a giant head of Nick Foles and a giant head of Tom Brady. And they were like, you have to take this. And I said, damn right I do. So I'll post the pictures. I had to take this home. And then I'm thinking to myself, it was bigger than my suitcase.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, how are you getting that home? And I said, I'll worry about that when I get to the airport. When I got to security, there were people lined up to take pictures with it. So all of TSA is taking pictures with Nick Foles, like pretending to frisk the picture, all this kind of stuff. Then I get to the plane, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? So I talked to the gate agent, and they're laughing. So when the crew was showing up, they talked to the pilot before he gets on, and he says, we got it. We got this. So he says, when you bring it in, bring it to me. And they literally had it seated in the jump seat in the thing, took its picture. So everybody had a good time with it. And hopefully you had a great time. We'll talk more about it all morning long. A huge, huge day. And congratulations to Doug Peterson. It wasn't what we were going to talk about right off the bat today, but Doug Peterson to be named the new coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
And the story comes out that Byron Leftwich turned down the job.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't fire Trent Baalke, the GM. He didn't want to work with him. He didn't feel that Trent Baalke was the best person to work with. Where I applaud Byron Leftwich. I mean, that is a tough move to go, I don't believe this is where I'm going to be most successful if this guy is my GM. I applaud him for making that decision, but I don't know any. How about this? I don't know any first-time head coaches in the NFL. A first-time head coach that ever said, oh, by the way, fire the GM that you currently have and hire the guy that I'm telling you to hire. So, yeah. I mean, he turned down that job. If he wanted the job, it was Byron Leftwich's.
Yeah, he must have an abundance of confidence that he's going to get a head coaching job somewhere else in this league. Yeah.
I think New Orleans is where I have a feeling he's going to get the New Orleans job. He must know that he's getting a job.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of commend him because that is where players, coaches, whatever, go to die almost, and that's Jacksonville.
That's been that way.
Exactly. And
he knows
do you want
right?
to? Yeah. Do you want to get your start down there and go through 3 and 14 seasons before you try to turn things around and get Trevor Lawrence going and building a roster? I commend him, kind of.
I mean, to me,
it's gutsy.
It's gutsy, But I also don't want to hear that, well, Jacksonville didn't choose the African-American candidate, because they did. He can have the job. You can have the job. But we're not letting you say, fire our general manager and hire the guy I'm telling you to hire. Look, it's a move. You have the right to ask for anything you want in a job.
Sure.
And employers have a right to say, hell no.
Yeah.
No, wait. And first-time head coaches in the NFL do not get that. I can't think of one where they go, oh, by the way, you have a GM, fire him, and I've got the guy that I want you to hire. I have a feeling he knows he has another job.
When Chip Kelly came here, he saw Howie first before Howie got delegated, right? It wasn't
before
like
he got regulated to the side hallway.
Yeah,
it was after the first year, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Pat. Was it after the first year? Didn't he have a year with Howie?
It was after the first year.
Because
I was thinking of that also when I heard this.
Yeah, it was after that.
Yeah.
It's that. Well, no, look, I come in and I go 10-6 and I win the division and I have a home playoff game. Then maybe the owner starts to listen to me a little bit, and that's what Chip did. And by the way, Chip had been a head coach before, though. Big difference.
Yeah.
Chip had already been a head coach before he ever got to the NFL. Hey, DuckDuckGo, protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo. If you're tired of being tracked online, DuckDuckGo can help. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo is privacy simplified. We start today, too. Now, 6 days and a little less than 9 hours from the NBA trade deadline. And I think the Sixers weekend road trip is a huge measuring stick. And I know I use this term a lot, but that's how I'm looking at it this weekend. Dallas and Chicago. Dallas, one of the hottest teams in the NBA since Thanksgiving, and the Chicago Bulls leading the Eastern Conference. To me, that is a measuring stick weekend. What can you do? And even if they go 1-1, I'm going to feel a hell of a lot better about their chances than I maybe do this morning, that we can finally see this team win a second-round series.
I don't know if I'll put that much on these two games, but I do want to see good basketball. I can't see – I want to see a healthy team down there. Now, hopefully Seth Curry's back in the lineup. He's still dealing with a wonky ankle, apparently. But the scheduling gods didn't do them any favors. They pushed this game back to 10 o'clock our time, East Coast time.
Which is crazy.
And, well, yeah, it's the second game of a doubleheader. So the Sixers play a late night tonight. They'll fly out after the game tonight. They'll get to Chicago in the wee hours of Saturday morning. I'm sure they'll have off on Saturday, and then they play 3:30 again Saturday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon, rather. So that's a tough little nugget there. So you really want to go all in to try to get this Dallas game. Obviously, you want to beat Chicago. They're ahead of you in the standings and all. But to ensure that 1-1, yeah, I think you want to try to get off on the right foot in Dallas late night tonight.
Now, I hear that about what you're saying there, and I just watched Washington, though, play in Milwaukee on Tuesday night and then fly after the game, come to Philadelphia, and beat the Sixers on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I mean, quick turnarounds are going to happen to you. You got to take advantage of them. I'm really interested in seeing this game, though. I love watching Dallas play. I love watching Luka. I find him to be one of those guys. If LeBron's on, I'm watching LeBron. If Luka's on, I'm watching Luka. You love watching a Joel Embiid. There's just certain players that are worth the price of admission. Am I wrong to think, though, that there are still some holes in Luka's game? And his to me, I don't know. He doesn't look like he puts a lot of effort into his fitness. And is that just like, or is he just one of those guys? Some guys just don't look. He doesn't look fit to me, like some of the other young guys in the game.
He doesn't look the part of a guy that goes for 26, 9, and 9 every night.
He's amazing.
No, but my God, he's good on the basketball.
He's amazing.
You know, it's funny. The pairing of him and local kid, Jalen Brunson, two guys that have kind of old man games. You know, two guys that they do what they do, and they do it so well a lot of times because as a defender, you're used to defending a guy as a point guard, a quicker guy. Brunson isn't that. Very methodical.
Right.
As like you say, when you're guarding a Doncic, it's just different. It's not what you normally would be prepared to see. Now, Joel Embiid beats you with quickness and strength, and he's just an athletic freak. Totally different than what Doncic is. So I love that the two of those guys are on the same team, and I would just love for Jalen Brunson to be in a Sixers uniform at some point.
Oh my gosh.
I love his game. Love his game.
Loved his dad's game. And
Dad's having some success over in Camden, coaching high school.
I love watching his son have success. A lot of Temple people don't really feel fondly towards Jalen. I'm like, why would you begrudge a guy going to one of the greatest programs in the country?
Because it was under some circumstances.
Yeah, there was some stuff
It was
there.
under
But,
some circumstances, Johnny.
I got you.
A little bit of backstory there.
I got you.
Somebody didn't get a job and got real bitter.
Yeah, I got you.
Somebody's still bitter. His name's Pat Egan.
Yeah. Hey, so the Brian Flores story continues to percolate. The Giants can prove that they didn't hire Brian Dable before what Brian Flores says. What Bill Belichick told Brian Flores has been proven to be incorrect. The Giants can prove, documented, that they had not hired him and that Brian Dable was still in the mix for the Miami job and was still potentially going to be the Miami coach during the time that Brian Flores claims he had already gotten the job because Bill Belichick told him. So now we found out that the Bill Belichick texts mean nothing. They've been proven false. And they can be proven false by like a documented chain of communication that Brian Dable still didn't know if he was going to be the Miami coach or the Giants coach. And to me, this is the danger of this story is that like the Bill Belichick texts were a major part of this whole thing coming out. And again, nobody's claiming that what Brian Flores is saying about hiring practices in the NFL is false. But one of the main tenets of his case they can prove was false.
Yeah.
Here's a false accusation that the Giants had already hired Brian Dable.
Yeah.
It can be pretty much completely disproven.
Yeah, Flores, you're absolutely right. Is there a case there? No question about it when you look at the big picture. And my God, it's got to be corrected and gotten to and all that. What I'm starting to wonder now, after this all started on Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was.
I think Tuesday.
And so if you look at the timelines of everything, so he files this thing on Tuesday. He was trying to get head coaching jobs up until a couple days before. Did you really have enough time to put this together properly?
And that's what I wonder.
Yeah, and look, I know it's a case to be had, and I know this needs to be corrected, and we've talked about it all week. My fear now is that he maybe jumped in too fast to try to get this thing done, whereas maybe it was something that you had to get all your ducks in a row before you went at the NFL and three teams like this. Look, could he have thought John Elway came in? Maybe John Elway did come in after a bender, but Elway quickly says, "No, we only had a couple hours sleep."
And produces the fact that they flew in overnight.
Yeah, and that they had an early meeting.
Right,
There were a few hours of sleep. It's just is there a case for what Flores is talking about? Absolutely, but I don't know if he and his team took enough time to get all of this stuff together to make it an effective case moving forward.
The number one tenet of this entire case was Bill Belichick texts. That was the number one thing that was like supposed to be the smoking gun. Bill Belichick was wrong. He was wrong. Brian Dable didn't know if he was going to be the Miami coach or the Giants coach when they're claiming he already knew and he'd already been hired. And the Giants are like, that's completely false.
Yeah, they say they have emails and stuff that they didn't. I mean, that'll come out. It'll come out and see.
And Dable's camp does too. That he was going. He still was in negotiations with Miami. It was up in the air. Do I go to Miami? And the truth is, he may have chosen in his head, I want to be the Giants coach, and then you leverage the Miami job to try to make sure you get everything you want. That can go on too. But he was not hired. And that's the big thing is he was accused. The Giants were being accused of bringing this guy in for a false interview. And they can pretty much prove from various different camps that didn't happen. I agree with you, Bob, on this is that I think this thing was rushed. Yeah. I think it was rushed. And the thing is, there was a rush to judgment against the Giants. There was a rush to judgment. Now, Stephen Ross. I wonder about Stephen Ross, too.
Well, what sucks is, in all of this is, as I said, and I think we all agree, Flores is on the right avenue of there's a case against the NFL. Like
There's no question.
This needs to be corrected. What sucks about it is if he did go into this too quickly and a lot of these allegations are proven false, it almost gives the NFL the ability to stick its chest out even further and say, see, we're not doing anything wrong. And then I really cringe and say, oh, my God, please don't let what happened with this set back what is a bad thing in the NFL right now.
I said it from the minute the story hit. Basing a lawsuit on texts from Bill Belichick, who has no association with the Giants franchise, I thought could have been risky. But more importantly, he may not. The Flores case might not be the best messenger for this case. There may be other guys who are better messengers for it. I think Eric Bieniemy is arguably a better carrier of the water for this story than Brian Flores. Brian Flores got his chance to be an NFL head coach. Brian Flores has already gotten hired. Brian Flores has gotten, and now I already see where the NFL is going. There was an African-American general manager hired who hired a white coach. And now he's being ripped because he hired a white coach in Chicago. There's issues that are being discussed and screened about. I think there's the more that this case looks like it was based on some misinformation, I agree with you. I think the NFL is going to be able to say, look, these are lies. The Giants hadn't hired a coach. The Giants didn't bring him in for a false interview. And then Stephen Ross continues to double down and go, hey,
yeah,
I can't wait to see the evidence.
I wonder if this goes a little deeper. Like, if they were building a case on a text message and then on what a guy said to you on a boat, I thought those were kind of fringe pieces of, look, this is happening too. I thought there was a deeper case, and there still may be. I don't know. But if they relied their case on the things that you just talked about solely, well, then it does look like it was maybe a rush to try to get something done.
I bet that it's not solely, though. You're right. I mean, the idea that it would be solely, I think, would be reckless.
Yes.
If that was. But we'll get that. If you want to jump in with us, too, you can. At 610-632-0975, we would love to have you be a part of the show. The development of this guy is amazing. But can you touch him? What? We'll get to it next. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
What else is amazing is the one-game parlay feature from BetMGM. They're the king of sportsbooks for many reasons, but here's a prime example of it. Because you can find a game that you like, say, in the NBA, like, for example, maybe a Sixers game, and then you can build a parlay from that very game. If you want to take the big man over with points and rebounds, you want to take that point guard over with assists and points, you want to alter the spread a little bit, you can do it. You can kick back and you can enjoy the one-game parlay feature. You're no longer bouncing around from channel to channel trying to figure out how you're doing. You know how you're doing because you're watching the game and you use one-game parlay from BetMGM. If you're not convinced, though, well, BetMGM is going to give you a great offer. They're going to give you your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. All you have to do is head on over to BetMGM.com or you sign up on the BetMGM app, and when they ask you for a bonus code, you just drop my name. Type in Pat Egan, and your first wager will be risk-free up to $1,000. That's Pat Egan when they ask you for a bonus code. And once again, your first bet is risk-free up to $1,000. You have absolutely nothing to lose because if you do, your money's coming back to you in risk-free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager in New Jersey and Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued and non-withdrawable free bets or set credit for bets expired within 7 days of issuance. If you or somebody who knows a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show. Wow, getting drunk in the morning on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Oh, baby, it be with a hard slam dunk.
Sixers, Mavs, tonight at 10. Hear all the action right here on your home for 76ers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Sixers basketball is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app.
I hate Steven Singer. I get that a lot. You know why? Why? Because unless I buy my gifts from Steven Singer Jewelers, my wife isn't satisfied. So, how can I help you? Well, how do you get away with advertising real roses you don't throw in the trash in a week? They're my famous roses, dipped in pure 24-karat gold. They last forever. Sounds expensive. They start at just $59. Each one comes in a premium color and is shipped in our signature gift box with a love message from you. Do I have to water it? Nope, it's a real rose, and it's preserved in pure gold. All right. How do I get one? Easy. Just go to IHateStevenSinger.com. Shipping. It's free, and your rose is guaranteed for life. What if she hates my personal love message? Just pick one from our online list.
Just click on IHateStevenSinger.com to see the entire collection of real roses dipped in 24-karat gold. No matter how you feel about Steven Singer, she'll love it.
Do you still hate me? Absolutely.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
The 2005 Texas Longhorns began the season ranked number 2 and stayed there all season. Their defense allowed only 16 points per game, while their Vince Young-led offense averaged 50. The Longhorns went on to face USC in the BCS National Championship game against top-ranked USC, winning 41-38 in what many consider one of the greatest college football games ever played.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Teams that win college bowls have great recruits, and great recruiting starts with great conversations. That's why when you post a job for free, LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 770 million professionals to find the right people for your role. LinkedIn Jobs helps you narrow down to only the most qualified candidates, which means you can start hiring the right people faster. Go to linkedin.com/sports to post your job for free. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Hola, Carla speaking. Carla's roofing company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Mira, Jose, can you work Wednesday?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
New Spicy Lovers Pizza from Pizza Hut is here. With spicy marinara, sliced red chilies, and a fiery blend of herbs and crushed red pepper, your taste buds will thank you after they cool down. New Spicy Lovers Pizza. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Product availability and prices may vary. Exclusions apply.
The uh-ohs are out there. Scratches, dents, unexpected natural events. But with Mako and their magic, your car is no longer tragic. So when life throws you uh-ohs, just say, better get Mako. And go to Mako.com to book your appointment today.
Geico presents Motorcycle Sounds. If you hear this, and within 15 seconds, you already know that it's a 6-speed cruiser with a wheelbase of 120 inches, a V-twin 2-cylinder engine with a max torque of 110 foot-pounds, a bright yellow body, black upholstery, chromed-out wheels, a nice clean fairing, and a big dresser in the back ready to tour, well, then you probably ride a motorcycle. So you probably know that Geico could save you even more when you bundle motorcycle with your home or car insurance. Geico Motorcycle. Save even more when you bundle.
I'm here at the Big Game headquarters. Total Wine and More. Stocking up for the big celebration. The perfect bourbon. Local craft beer.
Forgetting something?
Oh, yeah. Cabernet. Seltzers.
The day after is Valentine's Day.
Whoa. New game plan.
You got this. Total Wine can help you score the perfect bubbly, too.
Thank you. I would have been.
You sure would have.
Total Wine and More. Pickup and delivery available. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Get in zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Vivid Seats. Your ticket to hold on to your hat, edge of seat sitting, bases loaded, 2 outs, half-court buzzer-beating, 60-yard Hail Marys. Hear that pin dropping? Can they do it? They did. For your team, it was nothing. Get tickets and earn rewards with Vivid Seats. Life happens live.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At 7-Eleven, we have fresh coffee 24/7. And if it's not fresh, it's free. That's 7-Eleven confidence. 7-Eleven, take it to 11. Offer ends 2/2/22. Participating stores. Refund must be at store of purchase. See 7eleven.com for terms.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
There is no such thing as an off-season for Eagles football on this show. More of the John Kincade Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
It's a Football Friday on The Fanatic still, and it's brought to you by Pump Man Philly. If you need a water pump expert for your facility, contact Pump Man Philly. The guys to know to fix your flow.
Pump.
Fix it. Pump. Love you, Pump Man. We appreciate it.
Fix that flow. Contact the Pump Man.
We're going to have so much fun. I want you to save that audio, though, Pat. You didn't listen to it, right?
No.
Okay. I want you to save it. I
know in the moment it sounded bad.
We're going to hear Pat Egan. Now, was this one of your first times hosting?
No, I had hosted before. This was so. I was basically told by the boss, though, like basically have it be bar room. You know, like it's not supposed to be 610. It was supposed to be like fanboyish, and boy was it, because I was sober, hopped up on Mountain Dew, and ready for a win.
So the boss wasn't looking for is Die Hard a Christmas movie? He was looking for actual.
No, he did.
He said you could do that?
He did, but he warned me that it was post-Christmas, so it wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't make sense, especially on Super Bowl Sunday.
I started.
Coach,
it was bad.
Did you overcoach this show? Did you overcoach the Super Bowl night broadcast?
Having Pat on that day, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean,
where did you watch the game?
He didn't. He was watching Union highlights.
That's true. Yesterday, I actually did watch the Union game, the preseason game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched the Union sent me the link from the game yesterday, so I watched that last night. But
like the Zapruder film.
It's funny that you guys in the beginning of the show were talking about the Super Bowl and what we did. It wasn't what I did during the Super Bowl. It was what I was doing before the Super Bowl that day. I was at Sesame Place. And that was the day that Cameron got kicked out of Sesame Place for nailing Big Bird in the junk. And it was not his finest
Big Bird
moment.
have junk?
Yeah, well,
yes.
I mean, yeah.
Does he have a Big Bird?
I don't know about that. But
wow.
Big Bird definitely.
I don't know.
I think it's a person in there.
Well, there's definitely a person in there.
Yeah.
I think.
Not our finest moment.
Yeah, it's not.
I didn't get to see the first quarter live because I did a pregame show at a casino.
Gosh.
Yeah, so it was me. Who was I? I don't know if I was with Westbrook. I forget who I was with. But we did a pregame show, and then I had to fly home. And as I'm going home, the Eagles got the ball first, I believe, whatever. They scored first, got the field goal, and I was like, oh, my God, they're going down the field on the Patriots? So I missed most of the first quarter and got home. And when I got home, I'm watching it. You know, I like to drink my beer or whatever. I didn't even really drink a beer. I think I had one beer watching the game. I stood up the whole game next to my brother-in-law. And I remember it being in, like, the second quarter, maybe the third, and I turned to him and I said, oh, my God, they could win this game. And that was kind of my, like, I took it all in. I didn't want to drink, so I forgot anything. I just wanted to, like, kind of live in the moment, watching my kids and all. It was pretty cool.
It's absolutely awesome. It's great. It's a moment that brought great joy, and hearing Pat Egan's call of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl will probably bring great joy to you, too. I'm thinking we've got Al Michaels with the worst Super Bowl winning call ever.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
Terrible. Yeah, yours is better than Al Michaels.
Slightly.
Because Al Michaels
it's not good, but it's not as bad
and Al
as that.
Michaels is a legend. He's a
Pat.
He's a freaking legend. That was the worst broadcasting job of his career. That game was terrible. He was not good that night. And that Super Bowl winning call, usually, guys like Jim Nantz, and I make jokes about it, that Jim Nantz will have his final Masters call written out.
Sure.
Because he'll know who's going to win, and he'll write it out and have it. I think it's awesome because they're memorable. They're well done.
Sure.
They're executed smoothly. It's as if Al Michaels didn't even think that he was expecting that the end call was going to be, well, Brady's pulling this thing out.
I said it during the game at one point to my brother-in-law. I said, wow, the announcers didn't think the Eagles had a chance in this one.
No, they didn't.
Because all of their homework, everything, no, I shouldn't say all, but it seemed like a lot of it was geared towards what New England would do, what this was about for Tom Brady, how many times they've done this. And, the Eagles were the nice little side
or
story.
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
The Eagles story was Nick Foles to them. They had done all the research on the Nick Foles story. And we'll have more of this throughout the course of the morning. Now, the sun will be coming up soon, right, Pat? I mean, what time? Like sunrise is coming up soon?
It's coming up, probably 6:45, 7 o'clock.
Okay, that'll be great because Haley's in this morning for Connor. So she's over there at Connor's spot, and Heavy Chevy's out there with her, and they're going to be able to see a sunrise. Haley is going to see the sunrise.
Yeah, I'm going to teach her what that's all about.
She thought the sun would already be up this morning when she got up. I said, Haley, what time do you think the sun came up? You think there's like a rooster outside Channel 6 that like crows and then the 5 o'clock news starts? And she goes, well, I don't know. I'm not up. I said, it's amazing.
She said, I can't believe it's still dark out.
Well, she's from Alaska, and right now it's when it's just nothing but
light.
Yeah, but light.
If like 3 hours of night.
Yeah.
Haley always has a smile on her face.
Yeah, she
always has this childlike joy to her, which just brings joy to me. I love that. Now, I hope Heavy Chevy's going to teach her a little bit about sunrise, sunset, and realize that now if we really want to mess with Haley today, we're going to tell her that, Haley, guess what? Tonight, there's a minute 37 seconds more sun than there was yesterday.
Oh, that'll screw
blow
her all
mind.
up.
That'll blow her mind.
Yeah.
It's going to absolutely blow her mind. And sunrise will come earlier tomorrow. That'll just mess with her.
No, yeah, I don't think you can lay all that on her plate at once.
We love you being here, Haley. Glad you're here this morning. Hey, it's amazing to watch the development of Tyrese Maxey, and much debate's arisen over whether he should be made untouchable in a potential Ben Simmons trade. Hey, let's put up a show question poll and say, should they make is Tyrese Maxey untouchable? No, we won't do that. I understand the love and the loyalty that Tyrese has commanded because he's tremendous. He is absolutely awesome. But if he's in the mix for a trade proposal, don't the Sixers absolutely... There should never be the word untouchable associated with Tyrese Maxey. As much as I love Tyrese Maxey, if you're telling me that someone is untouchable, that means there is no deal that could be put in front of you of an available player that you would go, okay, I'll consider that. Because you don't consider, if it's untouchable, you say that person's off the table, they're not being discussed. Without Tyrese to sweeten a deal, I honestly don't know, because I think the brand of Ben Simmons is so severely damaged, and I will share some of the interaction with Shaq yesterday that I had over his comments. He can't be untouchable. He can't be. And he's not an untouchable type of talent, is he?
For those not on YouTube, I'm just looking at John, not saying a word.
You look disapprovingly when I'm saying.
It's not disapprovingly, John, and I hear what you're saying. Look, when you bring up the word untouchable in sports, it's the LeBron Jameses, those are the type of guys that you talk about untouchable. Joel Embiid, those type of guys. For me, though, for the makeup of this team right now, and for what you've lost and what you don't have. You lost a point guard, and you don't have any other besides Tyrese Maxey.
No, you don't.
He's 21 years old, far better than any of us thought he was, far ahead of where we thought he was. John Calipari said earlier this year that he was the most coachable player he's ever had. Doc Rivers said on our airwaves the other day that, he probably talks to him most, and I talked to him about being the point guard he's going to become, as much as I do as being the point guard in the moment, because I think he's that special. There's something there. And to lose that after you've lost Ben Simmons, who seemed to be that special point guard also, I'd be very cautious about it. Untouchable, sure. That's a label that you probably don't put on him.
I think LeBron James, you say untouchable.
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean? I just don't because to me it would be like me saying, all right, guys, all right, Bob, we're gonna create some new segments on the show, but I want your ideas, but don't tell me that you want to do this. That's off the table. I don't even want to consider that. I think that's a bad process to say to yourself, I am not open to even considering this. It's like the other day. It's like the Flores story. I don't rush to judgment or guilt. I want to wait and see it play out and say, something doesn't sit right here. I want to hear it. I want to hear all the details. I want each side to get to tell their side of the story. I I don't want to say anyone's untouchable.
Yeah, look, somebody said, I don't know whose show it was the other day. It might have been Mike's or Anthony's that said something along the lines of, you can't say it because if Memphis said, oh, we'll take him for Ja Morant, there's no way you're going to say no, he's untouchable.
That's a ridiculous thing.
Exactly. But, including him in a package where it might put things over the top, yeah, I understand it. And look, I'm not telling any team he's untouchable if I'm the Sixers GM group, and I'm certainly not saying it to myself. But looking at it now, I'm taking a good, long, hard look. He might be your point guard for the next 10, 15 years.
Pat, you understand that word, right, though?
Yeah.
Or am I getting hung up on words? Because you'll say to me something.
You're getting hung up on words a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Bob nailed it. If you get offered Ja Morant for him, it's one thing. I think it's more of like, look, if the make or break piece in a deal for, let's say, Bradley Beal would be Tyrese Maxey, you're probably going, look, we're already giving you Ben Simmons. Why would we give you 2 point guards? That doesn't make much sense.
Right.
Yeah, if you're offered Tyrese Maxey for LeBron James, where do I sign?
Hey, check out the Tyrone Johnson Show live from the Bet Rivers Sportsbook at Rivers Casino, Philadelphia. Every Saturday, 9 to noon. Grab yourself a leather reclining chair. Watch your favorite sport on their 56-foot LED screen. You will absolutely love it. I bet you could watch the Sixers there tonight, too. But the Sixers will be on 97.5 The Fanatic tonight.
10 o'clock tonight. Perfect.
That's ridiculous.
That's a great Friday night game. Are you kidding? You got the freeze coming in tonight, so it's going to be nice and cold. I think my family will be asleep. I'm going to have to probably record Blue Bloods. But I think I'll build a fire tonight, 10 o'clock, and be ready to rock and roll. Sixers action.
Tonight's the night Tom Selleck gets killed off.
No, you know what? It is getting a little tiring that he always threatens to retire. Every time something goes wrong now, he's like, I'm going to retire. And
I think that might be the end of the show, right? When he does?
Yeah, there's pretty much no Blue Bloods without the commissioner of New York Police not being around, yeah.
In Cooney's Corner, Bob says the excitement level for this, not tonight's Sixers game, is probably the least he's ever had in his life.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Maybe I'm alone here. Maybe I'm with the majority. I'm not really sure. But do you guys have any feeling towards these Olympics at all? Now, look, I know most of the time we go into an Olympics and you're like, oh, cool, here it comes. And then you jump in and you watch it for a couple weeks and you get out of it what you get out of it. But there is some build-up to it. Like I know when the Summer Olympics is coming, I'll mark it off. Oh, I can't wait. A couple weeks it starts. And the Winter Olympics also in the past. I have no feeling towards it at all this year. None. And I feel bad about it almost because, you got to love that these athletes are doing what they're doing in the time that they're doing it in. You know how hard it has to have been to train and get ready for this Olympics with everything that's going on with this pandemic, both locally, nationally, and internationally.
Sure.
But I turned it on last night. It's on. And I get Mike Tirico talking to two established people that are in China and talking about
China.
Like, what Beijing has been all about over the years and stuff. And I was like,
come on.
Oh, my God, I was turned off to begin with, and now I'm getting a history lesson on Beijing, which I'm not above learning. But I'm there to watch some sports.
That's a PR piece for them.
It was, and it got, I don't know. I feel badly that I am so soured on the Olympics this year.
I'm a bad person on this topic because the Winter Olympics has never grabbed my interest.
No?
Unless it's hockey.
I was going to say, if you took that away.
If I take hockey away, I'm not watching a second of it.
If you took, and Pat, I'll do this to you too. If you took the 1980, it was before your time, Pat, the 1980 win out of the Winter Olympics for the USA, what is your biggest memory of a Winter Olympics?
Probably Sidney Crosby defeating Team USA in overtime.
I got mine.
Yeah, that was good.
That team was really good, and that goal was really nice.
Tanya Harding.
You know what? That was one of mine. The all-encompassing story.
That's the all-encompassing story. The Tanya Harding story is bigger than any story that has come out of the Winter Olympics as far as the amount of time that people talked about it, the amount of press that it got, the amount of interest it got. It's bigger than any story, and it was a drama.
And then she went out to start. Tanya Harding did, and said her shoelace had,
and she cried.
Skate lace had,
Well,
and
but she tried to
got
say
all
it was
messed
tampered
up, and
with, didn't she?
Yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. But like last night, I watched some of the downhill. It wasn't downhill skiing because it was part of the X Games stuff where they're doing flips and all that. Like that was cool. I'm not a big figure skating guy. And there was a lot of that on last night. But I'll keep an eye on it. But I just don't have it this year.
If I stumble onto it, I will.
Yeah, and I really do. I feel bad. I love curling up and watching an Olympics like every night for 2 weeks. That's cool.
Plus, if I'm getting some work done midday, there's no Days of Our Lives for 2 weeks. So, I can't even have Days of Our Lives on the TV. I got to switch to something else.
One of the big problems is
it's preempted, Bob.
The U.S. Olympic Committee has done such a terrible job with creating stars. But the stars they do create aren't very good. So, like, for example, we're talking Winter Olympics, but, like, the last Summer Olympic star they tried to build up was Lolo Jones.
Yes.
Lolo Jones was terrible. She couldn't even qualify. To the
And
point
they
where
did
she
try to build her
qualify.
up.
She tried to qualify for the Winter Olympics as a bobsledder, and I think she might have qualified there, but she didn't medal. Apollo Antonono might be the most overrated athlete of all time. The guy, I think, lucked into a gold medal because somebody tripped. But other than that, he was silver boy.
How about Weir?
Johnny Weir?
Johnny Weir, created like a social media career.
Yeah, he was more
out
like
of it.
It was funny. He was more the bad boy of ice skating, if you want to call it that.
He was a bad boy?
Real Sports just did a story about him. Yeah, because he was outspoken. He would call it like it is with the judges and stuff. So he was a little bit of a bad boy. But
who's that? Weir?
Yeah, Johnny Weir.
Is he?
Weir.
Whose team
what?
with Lipinski
Yes, Bob,
to
he
do
is.
this?
Yeah, it's him.
Is that him?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, they're pretty good at
Real
what they
Sports just
do.
did a story about their relationship together.
Oh, yeah?
And they also did one on China's relationship with the Olympics.
China.
But they failed to build up a star that kind of lives up to it, other than Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps
lived up to it.
And that Summer Olympics is much bigger.
I love boxing. I love the Summer Olympics. Yeah, track
There we
and
go.
field. My dad was a big track and field guy.
See, there you go.
I don't know about the Winter Olympics this year. It's just not grabbing me yet.
Pat, are you? Pat was talking to us about something that he read regarding Ben Simmons, and it was that Ramona Shelburne piece.
Yeah.
And it makes you sort of wax poetic a little.
I can say this because I think we all know what's going on.
Nobody's
It's a circle of trust.
Nobody's listening, right? So
Exactly.
it's just us girls here. The Ramona Shelburne piece actually made me feel like there was a slight chance he could come back. It made me feel. I'm glad that you're here because Jamie would have interrupted me already and just said that's not happening. But it made me feel better after reading it than it did me going into the article. And I think the big reason why is because he's still watching every game, and I was blown away that he actually cares. If you've got 1 foot out the door, why would you care what your team is doing? But
I know why
she painted it as he's really dialed in. He's staying in shape, and the big thing was he doesn't have any leverage, and Rich Paul has told him that. They don't have any leverage. We've all said it, but the fact that they know they don't have any leverage, does he really want to sit out that much? I know in the piece also said money isn't an issue, but he's gearing up for a trade that at this point we all know is not coming at the trade deadline.
His brother said money's not an issue.
Yes.
His brother is saying my brother's money is not the issue.
Yeah, which
not
is
his money because he couldn't obviously rub 2 nickels together without his brother. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I do believe there is a scenario that he could come back. I really do.
I don't think there's a way in holy hell in
Why don't
Jamie's
you go
terms.
laugh at both of
and
us?
I didn't mean to laugh at
If he
you.
shows up, by the way, if he shows up to work, this is one of the things the NBA Malika Andrews show had the other day. If he shows up to work, then the Sixers are in a bad problem.
Well, and that was another thing, John, real quick, was the fact that he was going to the meetings.
Correct.
You know, like I
didn't hear that, by the way. I didn't know that.
No, and the kind of the picture that I had in my mind is he was training, but he was staying far away from the team and hadn't communicated with them. And the picture that was brought in the Ramona Shelburne piece was, no, he's going. Now, a big part of that is so that he can build a case to get his money back, but he's around the team. He's there. He's also kind of out of sight, out of mind because he's not a part of the team. But the fact that he's going to these meetings, he's gone back to the practice facility to start practicing because of the fact it's such a hassle. Look, I might be sunshine and roses right now and, a fanboy, but I after reading it, I felt a little bit better than I did going in.
All right, and this is where, and Pat, and I was just kidding, but this is where what raised my eyebrows. You said you're hopeful. It makes you a little more hopeful that he comes back. Do you think this team still can be better if he comes back and plays with guys and a coach that he has reportedly shunned and said, I don't want to play with them anymore. I don't know how quickly they get over that.
I do.
Yeah.
But it might be wishful thinking. It probably is wishful thinking, but I do think that he can play with them.
I think
I'll tell you what.
Tyrone brought up an amazing point on Mike's show that Kobe basically dry snitched on Shaq, and they still found a way to play together. Like, he told the cops about something that was going on, and they found a way. So if they can find a way.
By the way, that story which continually gets told too, they never.
Yeah, well,
didn't find anything. There was no substance to what Kobe said.
You don't have to stick up for your boy.
No, but there wasn't any.
You tell the cops something that probably should end the relationship. It didn't.
It didn't.
These guys should find a way to play together.
Those are two big personalities, Shaq and Kobe. So you think that would work against it? Like, oh, you say something about me? But they were big enough to know, okay, I can overcome that because I have a big personality. I don't think Ben Simmons can overcome this in Philadelphia. And I think the Sixers believe that also.
Yeah, we're going to find out. We will find out how this thing all shakes out, but it's crazy. He's, I think, Pat, the reason he stays in touch with watching all the games is because he wants to hear people talk about him.
That was the first thing to cross my mind, in all honesty.
He's obsessed with social media. But John, he's like a 14-year-old kid.
If it's not a national game, they're not talking about him. Kate and Al aren't bringing him up.
They don't. No, they don't. You're correct. They don't bring him up.
And tonight's a national game, but other than that.
I think he'll be brought up tonight.
Oh, absolutely, he'll be brought up tonight.
You never know what they'll be talking about. The pregame show may talk about it, and I don't think Devon's mentioning them though. Thank God, Devon, stay away from that subject matter. I got a conspiracy theory alert for you, and I think it's viable. I'll run it by conspiracy monitor Bob Cooney coming up your way next. Thanks for hanging out with us on the most glorious day from 4 years ago when the Eagles finally won the Super Bowl. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Are you still thinking about a great Valentine gift for your special someone? Then, guys, I've got it for you. The soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas from Pajamagram.com. They're sensuous, they're smooth, and the naturally nude pajamas feel just like her own soft skin. And she's going to love slipping these things on. They're so luxurious, they're going to melt away her stress. She's going to love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all. May I suggest to you that you're going to like it too? They look good. Pajamagram.com is where you want to be shopping. They've got free gift packaging, too. These things come in a nice little gift bag with a sachet of fragrance that just makes it a great gift. And you don't have to wrap a thing. Get your naturally nude pajamas. There's easy ways to do it. Go to Pajamagram.com or text the word GIFT. That's GIFT to 41234. That's GIFT to 41234 to order your naturally nude pajamas. It's fast, it's easy, and delivery by Valentine's Day is guaranteed. Tell them John Kincade sent you in for your Pajamagrams.
The John Kincade Show.
I am so excited I can't stand it.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Yes, I'm so sorry about the wait, ma'am. I'll be with you shortly. Carrie, how many appointments did we book at 2:30?
Jin's physical therapy clinic is pretty stretched.
With some light stretching.
He needs another PT before patients get bent out of shape.
You get a fresh ice pack from Miss Davis's name.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
Hey, it's Rich Gannon. As a former quarterback, I know the importance of surrounding yourself with the best. That's why I go with the Parx Casino Sportsbook app. Best in class and based right here in Pennsylvania. The Parx Casino Sportsbook app gives you the home field advantage. As a former league MVP who played 17 seasons, I know a winner. The Parx Sportsbook app is a game changer and the only sports betting app that I recommend. Live in-game betting. Bet on player performances, passing and rushing yards, touchdowns, halftime score. Bet on who scores first and more. New customers sign up right now and get your first bet risk-free up to $500. Risk-free bet refunded in site credit. Download the app or click parxcasino.com/PA. Yes, new customers sign up right now and get your first bet risk-free up to $500. Take it from me, Rich Gannon. Go with the home team at the Parx Casino Sportsbook app.
Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
That new doctor is drop dead gorgeous.
Please, he's just another RV League educated surgeon with good hair.
No, he's different.
Nurses, we got a Class C motorhome with a detached driver's side mirror. Meet me in the OR. Stat.
Right away, doctor.
No, she's on break. I'll handle this one.
Oh, you conniving little...
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey y'all, this is your girl Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3, a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands. Jackson Hewitt knows that. Discover thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Got a party of 10 coming in. We need to flip those 2 tables.
Leah's restaurant is fully booked night after night.
Section 3 is still behind.
She no longer has reservations about finally finding a hostess.
Why doesn't 23 have menus? Oh, because they're in my hand.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
The big game needs big snacks, and no game day is complete without a Philly Pretzel Factory party tray. With your choice of mustards like spicy brown or honey mustard, and sweet dips like brownie batter or buttercream, there's something for everyone. Find your nearest Philadelphia area location and order now at PhillyPretzelFactory.com. Whether you're the host or the guest, be the MVP when you bring the pretzels. Pre-order your tray at PhillyPretzelFactory.com. Philly Pretzel Factory, the official soft pretzel of the Philly sports fan.
Care has the power to bring kindness where it's needed. It brings out the best in every one of us. It doesn't just see people. It takes time to understand them. It puts the needs of others ahead of its own. And when you start with care, you end up with a very different kind of bank. Truist. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
It's hard to get out of bed on these cold mornings. Walking into a cold bathrooms is the worst. If you're like many people, if you've gone the space heater route to make certain rooms in your house livable, Mike Miss here with an important reminder from my electrician, Dan Namero at Farron Electric. Now, space heaters are great, but if you don't have a dedicated circuit for those space heaters, they can be dangerous. So don't take any chances. Call Farron Electric at 484-316-0449 or online at farronelectric.com. That's FARRYN electric.com.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball and Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
We are no longer new and different. We're just different. The John Kincade Show returns.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
When I pull up at a traffic light, this is what I love to roll down the windows or the windows.
Okay.
And just blast.
Okay. I don't hate it, but
look over at the guy next to me and say, "You want to race?"
Yeah.
You want to race?
And it's a mom in a minivan.
Yeah. Or the guy in the truck.
You like to rev your engine?
The guy in the truck. I always love the guy in the truck that's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, you're not going to beat me off the draw.
I'm Johnny Bad Boy.
Come on now. Hey, the 7 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show is brought to you by my sportsbook app of choice, the Parks Casino Sportsbook app. Download it at parkscasino.com/PA. Use promo code FANATIC. I was checking the Parks Sportsbook app during the break. Sixers a 1-point underdog tonight. That line is suspicious.
That's a Sixers line to me.
Sixers have been so good on the road.
Yeah, they have.
They've been really, really good on the road. They're winners of 8 of 9 on the road, and they are very good against the spread on the road. So just, you might want to think about it. If you get that Park Sportsbook app, I'm just saying. Not that I'm some betting guru. I had one great week in the postseason, though. Other than that, I was 500. I was even Steven, except for that one 7-1 weekend. I was dead even the other 2 weekends of the NFL playoffs.
I am on a complete losing streak.
Completely.
I am just not good. My wife. So I told you before, my app is on my wife's phone.
Right, exactly.
Because that way, because she likes to do it, gamble also. So I always try to preface by saying, like last week was a perfect example. I love Cincinnati today. I said, but let's not take them. I just want to prove to you, I love Cincinnati. I'm on a roll. So Cincinnati, when she goes, okay, well then who do you want in the second game if you love Cincinnati so
there
much?
It is.
And yeah, I blew it.
Who did you want in the second? Who did you like in the second game? You liked the Niners, didn't you? Or
I liked. What did I take in the second game? Whatever I took, I lost.
Okay.
I took the Niners. I took the Rams giving 3.5.
I took the Rams giving 3.5
exactly.
also.
Yeah.
Loser.
Yep.
Loser. We will have a not a block pool, excuse me, a pool next week that you can participate in, and you can win prizes, a prop pool. And there are 12 questions in the prop pool, and they are all football related. Not crazy, not nuts. There's only one tiebreaker question that involves us. So if there was a second tiebreaker. So you can use your football knowledge, put it to the test. We'll have that for you.
There's a question about us?
Yeah, it's a second tiebreaker.
Oh.
Just in case there was some weird case of that.
Huh.
Okay, I have a conspiracy theory alert. Now, Bob, you laughed at Pat earlier.
I apologized also. I didn't.
Okay.
Where are my feelings, Bob?
I know. I'm sorry.
You're free to laugh at me if you think this is a conspiracy theory. Could James Harden be up to his old tricks? Woj and other insiders started speculating on whether there could be an off-season deal brewing between James Harden and the Sixers' Daryl Morey. Since that story broke, in 6 games played, 6 of the 8 games that have been played since that story first broke, James Harden has put up 3 of his worst offensive performances as a net. And he missed 2 games. James Harden had 4 points in a game on Wednesday at Sacramento in 37 minutes. 37 minutes. James Harden scored 4 points. We have seen James Harden play his way out of Houston by what I consider, this is me editorializing, unscrupulous and unprofessional means. Could we be seeing it again? Could he be trying to force a deal before the trade deadline instead of waiting for the summer? He's done it before. He's been unprofessional before to say, I want out. So I'm going to get out of Houston, whatever it takes. I don't care about professionalism. I don't care about respect for the game. I want out, and I'm going to force my way out. Could he be doing it again? 4 points in 37 minutes.
The 4 points stuck out to me the other day when I saw it, thinking, like, well, what is going on there? I thought maybe, okay, he didn't play all that much, played 37 minutes. He had
seriously.
6 turnovers in that game. He did have 12 assists and 7 rebounds. I'll tell you what, when I read what you wrote last night, when you had this out, it made me say, It didn't make me laugh. It didn't make me crumple up the paper and throw it in the trash can.
I didn't get laughed at least.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, John, when you don't get laughed at for your conspiracy theories.
I really need to hug you at the next break because I do feel bad about what I did.
It's a conspiracy theory. But I look at the date that Woj let the story sort of started to percolate. 6 games since that he's played in, 2 that he sat out in. And he has had 3 of his worst performances as a net. And he is not playing characteristically James Harden basketball.
Yeah.
Could he be saying, I'm disinterested? They already know that he's very pissed about Kyrie. That's gotten out. When Woj and Shams report that kind of stuff, I think it's sort of gospel that that's true. He wants out.
Well, they're 2-7 in their last 9 games. You have all the things going on that is Kyrie Irving. You have Kevin Durant with the knee sprain that's still going to be a few weeks away probably. James Harden has played a lot of NBA minutes, and he's 32 years old right now. Is it a tale of, is he starting to lose it? Is it a tale of what you said, John, that maybe he's trying to play his way out of there?
I'm just wondering.
It's interesting. Could you imagine trade deadline and the Ben Simmons for James Harden now? All right, let's go back to what we talked about earlier. Would you do Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey for James Harden?
Absolutely not.
Pat?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not packaging the two.
And one of the reasons I'm not doing it is because of the unprofessionalism that I know that at any time James Harden can display. I'm biased against that. I don't like it. I think it's disrespectful to an entire team, to your teammates, to what he did to his Houston teammates. Completely disrespectful, completely disrespecting the game, and not one NBA analyst will step up and say it. Not one of these guys on TV will step up and say, that was really a clown show, how he got himself out of Houston.
Yeah, James Harden, the reputation he had throughout the league before the Houston thing came to a head was he was one of the hardest workers around.
Correct.
He plays a ton of minutes. He doesn't take nights off. He doesn't play defense. But, he's one of those guys that you just threw in there. And even after he came back from the offseason, we looked at it, and it looked like he was fat and all that. He still jumped into the lineup and was playing 37 minutes a night.
Correct.
And playing well. And then he hurt a knee, and that could have been a result of coming in maybe out of shape or whatever it may be. That Houston thing, yeah, I didn't like that a little bit. I agree with you. But he also has the reputation of being a really hard worker, keeps his mouth shut, and goes about his business. Is he trying to get out of there? It's a really good question, John.
I wonder, could he be forcing it to get out now, saying, why don't you just trade me now? This isn't working.
Could be. And if Brooklyn's in an all-in type of situation where they say, all right, pretty soon Kyrie's going to be able to play all the games. Pretty soon Kevin Durant's going to be back. Do we want a disgruntled James Harden on that team, or would you rather get a Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons with a...
facilitating those two?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it works in my mind. If I'm Brooklyn...
Yeah, it's pretty interesting if I'm Brooklyn. So... I don't know. It's
you
worth
don't
very
discount
much.
it.
I do not. No.
Pat, do you discount it? That he could be trying to purposely get himself out of it.
I don't believe it, but I'm not going to staunchly argue against it. I don't think it's ridiculous based on the history, but I don't believe it.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I it's hard to argue against that theory after what you saw in Houston. But I just, for whatever reason, I don't think that he's purposely tanking his performance.
I mean, it's like a friend of mine, a friend of mine who I very much love. He married the woman he cheated with. Okay. He's not listening this morning. I know this. Okay. He married the woman that he cheated with and blew up his marriage with.
Okay.
His name is
Tom Brady.
His second marriage blew up.
John's friends with Tom Brady.
His second marriage blew up around 2 years in. And guess why, Pat? Guess why? Cheating.
She cheated on him this time. It's always the yoga instructor.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you got to watch out for that.
So the woman that he cheated with cheated on him after breaking up his marriage. And I'm like, what didn't you understand about going into this? And so when I see James Harden, I see a guy who's willing to do whatever it takes to, I want what I want, and I don't care what the ramifications are. All my teammates in Houston, the Houston fans, the Houston organization, I don't give a damn. I want what I want.
That wasn't the reputation he had before that Houston thing. So
it wasn't.
Yeah,
I got you.
I'm not going to say I understand a guy wanting out of a city. I didn't agree with the way he went about it. I don't think that's James Harden altogether. And I know some people that worked very closely with James Harden to get him where he is. But listen to this. In his last 7 games, this is really telling. -18, -8. He did have a +18 in there. -14, -12, -11, -21. He's hurting that team when he's on the floor.
Correct.
I'm badly. And like James Harden can overcome his poor defense or a team's poor defense with his offense. But he's not scoring the way he used to score before either.
They're missing, though, I'm drawing a blank. Is it Harris? They're missing the 3-point shooter.
Yeah, and he's going to be out, Joe Harris. He's going to be out
he's
for a
coming
little.
back.
No, he had another setback on the thing. He might not be back for the season.
Yeah, that
Are you kidding me?
He had another setback on his ankle.
God, I thought he was coming back. Because to me, that hurts James Harden's offensive game big time. Because wasn't Harris like a 42, 43% shooter? He's
oh my God, he shot
3.
47% from 3 last year.
He's
47.
And I mean that hurts James Harden's
So
game.
if you're getting rid of James Harden and you're bringing in a Ben Simmons, are you also looking to get a 3-point shooter from the Sixers
or a veteran buyout market guy?
Danny Green?
Yeah, Daniel, pack your bags. That's what it would be said. Tyrone's going to say, Daniel, pack your bags. Hey, the Parx Sportsbook app has a great offer for you. New customers sign up now. Get your first bet risk-free. Go to parkscasino.com/PA. Promo code Fanatic. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. On Monday, the premiere of My JK Show segment. That's how you get to us on an email. My JK Show segment at gmail.com. A listener-directed segment every single day until next football season. So if you have some of the best ones that I've gotten already are my buddies and I argue this. My dad and I can never agree on this, and you guys could be the arbiter of it. Do you believe this is true? These kind of things. Do you believe this conspiracy theory I have is true? This is the kind of stuff we will arbitrate for you, and every single day we will do this till football season next year. Go to My JK Show segment at gmail.com. Send us an email. If you have an argument with your buddies, something you want us to, and we will tell you which one of your friends is smart, which one's dumb. We will arbitrate this. We will have a jury here, and we'll tell you who gets the argument right will be the final word on it. Yeah. This works out well.
So we should have that much control that we can tell people who are dumb,
Yes, we will.
Makes sense to me.
Well, no, that would be like saying there's one guy who I will tell you he has a bet with his friend, and they have argued about the outcome of this bet, and we will use it next week. There is $100 on the line. And they have never been able to, they both refuse to pay the other because they think, and if both guys will go in, as what I said, if both guys will agree on email that we're the arbiter and the winner gets the money, we'll use it. So,
what sport is this? Can you say?
It's about football.
Okay.
And it's about Eagles history. And neither one of them will.
Is there proof that can be given as an arbitrator to decide, or is it our opinion that will decide their opinions?
They both think that the other's opinion is so stupid.
Okay.
That, they believe they speak for all Eagles fans.
Okay.
And that if we went to 100 Eagles fans. Okay, so we're going to get to that.
I like that.
By the way, I want to give a little shout out to Christopher. I was up at King of Prussia Mall yesterday. Needed things going back for a wedding next weekend.
Did you get a new toothbrush?
My former producer, Jonathan Chadwick from the Braves Radio Network, is getting married next weekend, so I'm flying home to
go, Jonathan.
Wedding. So Jay Chad will be there, and had to go up to Joe Bank. If you are in the King of Prussia Mall, Joseph A. Bank, go see Christopher. When I tell you the level of customer service that this man provides, he is exceptional eye for clothing. Expertise.
Did he brush your teeth?
Christopher did not.
Is that why you're wearing a dress shirt today? Because you felt finer yesterday?
I have to go to the bank today.
When you walked in, did he say, John Kincade?
No, he did not.
When you're here, you're family.
No, he had no idea. He had no idea who I was. And he had no idea at all. but the level of customer service was exceptional.
I like how John called Joseph A. Bank Joe Bank.
I always call Joe
Me
Bank.
too.
Yeah, like that. You know, like no, it's me and Joe. It's Joe Bank.
No, I used to do commercials for Joseph A. Bank
did you?
for years, and I would call them Joe Bank. I said I head into Joe Bank, and it became like a thing. So nobody here uses that, though. So
no,
just be known. But Christopher, thank you. And if you're up in King Prussia Mall, check him on out. He is absolutely awesome. Pat wants to talk about clowns.
Yes, I figure this is
You're qualified.
Fitting. Yes, this is fitting for me.
Okay.
Being a small person and from the circus lifestyle.
Clowns aren't small, are they?
Look, you need a lot of small clowns.
Oh, yeah,
to
you
fit
do.
In that
You
car.
need a few. Yeah, you do. You're right.
That's the whole shtick, right?
Okay.
Anthony Gargano yesterday, great show on Cuz Radio, and I was listening, and he was talking about, based on Ben Simmons, clowns in the city of Philadelphia. Guys that were on your team that were absolutely clownish. And him and Chunas were mentioning a ton from the past, but it got me thinking, who are the clowns in this city? And he also did this, so I'm stealing his bit here. Sorry, Cuz.
Well, it's good cross-promotion of Cuz Radio.
Yeah, look, I mean, imitation's the sincerest form of flattery, and I can't do it like him, but who are the guys in this city that are currently on the team that you just cannot stand because of their clownish ways? And there's really only one guy I could think of, but I'm curious if you guys can think of a few guys, whether it be, any of the teams, but you just, for whatever reason...
Is this a hate-the-face player?
No, this was more of like their actions dictate why you don't like them. It's not so much a hate the face. It's more of something they might have done, something they might have said.
Didi Gregorius.
So that was one that Cuz had. Didi blaming
because his elbow was because he got COVID vaccine.
Exactly. So
yes.
that was
because COVID vaccine really does affect your elbows. It's known. I mean, it's terrible.
So let's see. I don't want you to get mad at me.
Okay.
I don't like to call people clowns, or I hate who I hate because I don't know these guys.
How about clownish behavior?
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
And this is going to surprise the hell out of you. And it's annoyed me now because I used to love him.
I know it is.
Travis Connect me.
Yep.
The show's over, dude. All right, you're 5'11", 160 pounds. You're not a tough guy. Stop playing that game and fix your offensive game. Stop with all the... I'm going to get under this guy's skin, and then the other night he's doing the shimmy to somebody. Like, ooh, I'm scared of you. I appreciate it, but I really need you to concentrate on just your offensive game. So that's just a little unnerving.
Okay.
It's funny you say that, because he wasn't on the list, but he should be. I was told by somebody, basically, one of these days he's going to do that to the wrong person and get knocked out.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. It came through my mind the other night watching the game.
I don't think he's good enough to shimmy.
I don't think he's a
good enough player league wide.
Last season either.
I don't think league wide people look at him as a good enough player to have like a signature shimmy. Are you kidding me?
I don't know if it's
kidding me?
Did you see it the other night?
No, he's trying to.
He went
trying
like ooh, like he was scared, and
I get you.
Right. Yeah, he's Sid Farkas's little buddy from A Christmas Story. Now,
I still love him though.
My dad texted in and he hates Claude Giroux.
Why?
He thinks. Look, me and my dad have gone to war on this, and he brings it up in conversation, and to the point where now I just go, Dad, switch the topic or I'm hanging up, because he thinks he's a quote paper tiger who accumulates numbers. I think my dad is an idiot, but I love him and thank you for listening. But he can't stand Claude Giroux. There's an example of like he doesn't like
a great player like that. You don't like.
He doesn't like. Well, and he's not the only one. A lot of people in this town think that. He's
I think it's the most ignorant
compiler.
I honestly think it's the most ignorant hockey opinion that I've ever heard in this city. Is that
I would agree with you.
It makes me just say people don't know hockey.
But people think he's a clown because of the fact that he doesn't produce in the playoffs, and the fact that he doesn't. He's not really a great interview. He's kind of milquetoast.
Yeah, we had him on opening day.
He's okay, but
okay.
He doesn't embody the city like an Embiid would. But he's been here so long and he's won nothing, unfortunately. So he can't stand Claude Giroux. But the other guy that I had that I'm shocked no one mentioned, Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett was the one guy immediately that I went, that dude's a clown.
That is a good one.
Here's a hard one, though. It's hard.
And today, of all days,
Barnett's a very good one.
I walk down the stairs into the Kincade, and I see it. I don't see him pouncing on the ball, but I will always associate him with that, and that biases me. Because I am, and it's a character flaw.
It is
that
because
when somebody like the James Harden thing, Bob, I've heard the exact same things about Harden that you know. I've heard, and I go, but in my head, I have that bias of just like unprofessional, and it's hard to move me off it.
Yeah, look, any of us could have scooped that ball up. It bounced right into his gut.
No, but I mean,
he
look,
was standing there.
I'm sitting here wearing a Super Bowl 52 champion shirt, and I'm crapping on Derek Barnett.
I've seen that play get botched constantly in the NFL.
Yeah.
Guys not be able to just fall on a ball.
Yeah, I got to give him credit. But,
oh, man.
But since then,
I didn't agree with a lot of the people that were being called clownish or clowns on the show yesterday when I was listening to Cuz Radio. There were a lot of names that were being tossed around. I'm like, really?
A lot of them were from the past.
Yeah, but I didn't agree with a lot.
Did you not agree with?
There was I'll have to think of some of them, but I'm going, when I think clown, I think somebody who was just a buffoon, like buffoonish at their job.
Like Eric the Clown.
I think buffoonish.
Did they bring up Ryan Sandberg?
No, but as a manager, he was
he was clownish.
And like some inside story
time,
stuff. Yeah, there was some stuff going on that he was way different. I heard other people in the know more than me call him clownish.
By the way, you talk about things I missed on. I thought Ryan Sandberg was going to be a great manager.
I had no idea.
He was a great player. He was an attention to detail player. He was a total pro. Show up, put in the work. I absolutely was completely fooled by that.
I have no respect for a guy that can't even finish a season.
Oh,
I don't mean like you were fired. You're like, I'm walking away. I can't do this.
I'll tell you this: the one of the biggest things that I felt most unjustified firings ever in this town was Pete Mackanin.
I could not agree with you more.
And I still believe Pete Mackanin could have been the Phillies' Brian Snitker, and I believe Pete Mackanin, with the same talent, would have done better than Gabe Kapler and would have done better than Joe Girardi.
What do you mean?
I had
Sizemore.
Every doubt, everything in my mind.
You had Aaron Harang.
I mean, Pete Mackanin did chicken salad out of chicken, and got shown the door. And Atlanta, in the same opportunity, said, "No, we're going to go with the baseball guy." And
when you have an opportunity to hire Gabe Kapler, you do it.
Yeah, you freaking chose Gabe Kapler.
But then San Francisco, I mean, he's working out there, so I can't really.
No, it worked. I mean, it worked last year. I will bet. I will tell you right now. I'll put $100 right now. I don't know what the number is. I'll put 100 on the under. Whatever San Francisco Giants number is, I'll put $100 on the under.
On the under, okay.
On the under, I'll put 100. Whatever the number's set at, I'll put 100. When the lockout is over, the first day Park Sportsbook puts it up, I'll put $100 on the under. Because
You're an idiot and you don't know baseball.
I don't believe that's going to happen. Well, hey, there's an update on the Major League Baseball lockout. And this was a huge, huge day in the city of Philadelphia. Plus, you're going to get to hear, you've heard Merrill Reese over the years. You've heard Al Michaels over the years. Have you ever heard Pat Egan call the Eagles Super Bowl victory?
I don't think they want to.
Oh, no, they will.
I can't wait,
They
dude.
will. In fact, I waited to make sure more people would be up and in their cars, streaming, and on YouTube.
I don't want to ruin the Super Bowl for people.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear it. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. You hear people say, I hate Steven Singer. Well, every jeweler in America is saying it because they can't keep up with him. He keeps making Valentine's Day the go-to holiday at IHateStevenSinger.com. Why, guys? Because you can get the brand new rose color. It's his best-selling ever, fastest-selling, the Emerald City Sparkling Deep Green Gold Rose. It is awesome. Real rose, dipped and trimmed, pure 24-karat gold. A magical Emerald City rose is going to take her breath away. She's going to open up the gift box. It's a real rose. Beautiful, brilliant 24-karat gold, the stunning deep green petals. It's awesome. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com today and get it done. Get yours before they're gone because they could be gone before Valentine's Day. They're available exclusively and online available at Steven Singer Jewels. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com. It'll be a fantastic gift. And by the way, you'll see there's a bunch of other rose colors too, and they start at just $59, and they all come with a lifetime guarantee. With fast and free shipping, guaranteed to arrive in time for Valentine's Day. Real jewelers, real roses, your real love deserves it. Go to Steven Singer Jewelers. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com.
The John Kincade Show.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Maxey to the line, into the paint. Scoops it up and in. What a play by Maxey.
Sixers, Mavs, tonight at 10. Hear all the action right here on your home for 76ers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Sixers basketball is brought to you by Corona, proud sponsor of the Philadelphia 76ers. Traditional sports continue to expand more and more into the esports scene. Now we're beginning to see many NHL teams jumping into the fray. This year, the NHL will host its 5th annual World Gaming Championship, bringing in top hockey esports players to compete for a 6-figure prize. 10 of the NHL's 32 clubs have already established esports initiatives, and many more are coming down the pipeline too. Soon enough, we may be watching a virtual Stanley Cup.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
The 2005 Texas Longhorns began the season ranked number 2 and stayed there all season. Their defense allowed only 16 points per game, while their Vince Young-led offense averaged 50. The Longhorns went on to face USC in the BCS National Championship game against top-ranked USC, winning 41-38 in what many consider one of the greatest college football games ever played.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Teams that win college bowls have great recruits, and great recruiting starts with great conversations. That's why when you post a job for free, LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 770 million professionals to find the right people for your role. LinkedIn Jobs helps you narrow down to only the most qualified candidates, which means you can start hiring the right people faster. Go to linkedin.com/sports to post your job for free. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is your Wendy's wake-up call. Start your day with a better breakfast and get a free drink with any of our morning-making breakfast sandwiches. That's your favorite drink in a Wendy's cup, free. Fresh brewed coffee, free. Diet Coke, free. Vanilla Frosty-Chino? That's cold brew plus Frosty Creamer plus free. So don't sleep on this deal. Get any size drink in a Wendy's cup free when you buy any breakfast sandwich. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's. A la carte only. Offer valid upon request on lowest price qualifying item. Not valid for third-party delivery.
It's Tango Day, everybody. Follow after me. And step. And back. And slide. And dip. That's Tango.
Why is Ice-T leading our tango class?
It's probably the heart-shaped Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
Let's see those hips move, people.
Hurry and get your heart-shaped Cheerios. They're only here for a limited time.
Are you a window and door installer looking for work or a change? Subcontractors wanted for window and door installations. Come work for a locally owned company in business for over 30 years. Make your own hours. Have use of a dumpster for your trash and get paid weekly. Install windows and doors for one of the area's most respected companies, Thermal Quality Windows. Hiring now. Call 610-325-0788 or visit thermalqualitywindows.com. Thermalqualitywindows.com.
Want to hear a jingle? Yeah, neither do we. This commercial break is brought to you jingle-free by NJM Insurance. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit NJM.com for a quote.
If anyone knows about resilience, it's athletes. But today, Team USA isn't the only team being put to the test. Businesses are facing mountains of their own. And just like our athletes, they're rising to the challenge, relying on the nation's largest gig speed network and the world-class secure solutions from Comcast Business. For today's Olympic Winter Games and every day after, we'll be there, keeping businesses ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Drexel basketball is back.
Join fans from across the city as our men's and women's teams defend their CAA championship titles right here on Market Street in the intimate Daskalakis Athletic Center. This is your chance to get an up-close seat for electrifying Division I action as our Drexel Dragons continue to build upon the city's tradition of basketball success and begin their championship runs. Because the excitement can't wait. To get your tickets, go to drexel.edu/Dragon Tickets.
FanDuel Sportsbook, in partnership with Valley Forge, is an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. And to celebrate, new customers can bet $5 to win $280 in cash on either team to win when you register using promo code Bob. And you'll get your winnings in cold hard cash because we know cash is always better than free bets. I like L.A. -4 against Cincinnati, I think. I'm not sure yet, but that's what I'm going with right now. But there's so many different things you can do. You can look at individual players and look at their individual numbers. It could be a quarterback in passing yards, a running back with his rushing yards. You can go over-unders on anything. You know how many things there are to bet, and there's no better place to bet them than on FanDuel Sportsbook. So that's where you want to bet your Super Bowl 56. Turn $5 into $280 in cash. All you have to do is download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and use promo code Bob to make every moment more this Super Bowl. That's promo code Bob exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $280. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Can we wrap this up? I need to get home in time for General Hospital.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Somebody find that ice princess. It's missing. Hey, Football Friday on The Fanatic is brought to you by Pump Man Philly. Pump, pump. Pump, 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 pump. Pump, pump, pump. Fix it. If you need a water pump expert for your facility, contact Pump Man Philly. The guys to know to fix your flow.
Fix the pump. Good flow. Get your flow fixed.
Fix the pump. Christina sends me a picture. She's watching the Olympic opening ceremonies down there at home in Atlanta, and she says that she is watching the Jamaican team. She had to see the Jamaican team enter.
Oh, okay.
Back to her Jamaican roots. So she is watching Jamaica enter the stadium. She says the performers at the Olympics opening ceremony look very nervous, like they're afraid to make a mistake. Well, that could very well be. I don't think they're going to be really open-minded if you make a mistake out there. Be careful, at those opening ceremonies. This is an incredible thing. I don't know how they're going to spin this. I don't know. I know it's the Olympics. I don't know that we should be there. I don't know that we should be there.
Well,
celebrating that regime, that country. That's what you're doing. You're supporting them. You're giving them a platform, and we're getting positive pieces. She's already said there's like little spin pieces on the history of. They're not doing modern day what's going on there. They're doing history pieces about Beijing.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of turned off to last night when I saw Mike Tirico doing the interviews with what is Beijing about and what's going on. And
yeah,
it's a tricky time. I mean, you're there without your government support, basically, and you hate to take something away from young athletes.
Correct.
I was watching a guy last night. It was his first, I forget what event it was, downhill skiing something. But he was 28 years old in his first Olympics. And I was just thinking, 28, first Olympics. This guy's worked his life to try to get here. And it was very close to being taken away. And it's also, I'm going to be anxious to see the numbers in the United States of how, I don't know how many people really care about these.
I don't think people are that interested.
I just don't think so, no.
Maybe they're going to be big numbers. I don't know.
Real Sports did an incredible story on the whole issues of Beijing.
I haven't watched it yet.
Really good.
Is it really good?
It's something that I didn't really realize, and then afterwards, I kind of had your thought, Johnny, of like
we shouldn't be there.
And the case that they were making was move it.
Yes.
And the Olympic Committee said nope.
Nope. I always tell you that Doc is, my brother's got his flip phone and everything like that. We're going to be involved. I bought into 2 Super Bowl pools. Like where, like block pools and everything. And they're a little more money than I usually will get into, but I did it to be involved with my brother, do something fun with my brother. So he sends me a note, an email.
He's watching on YouTube this morning, too, and he says, I'll have a copy of the pools next Friday or Saturday. We'll find a way for you to get it. Do you have a fax at home? Pat, can you break it to Doc?
Fax. Hey, Johnny, I'll hit you up on your beeper.
Do you have a fax at home? Doc, seriously, you're on a college campus right now. I mean,
what year is it, Doc?
I don't understand. I was going to say take a picture of it and just text it to me.
Is he picking you up in his Daewoo?
But his Eric Estrada flip phone that he buys minutes for probably doesn't let him take pictures and then text them to anybody.
Poor Doc.
Oh, my gosh, Doc. You're on a college campus. No, I don't have a fax machine at home. Nobody does, Doc. Seriously. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He leads a very simple life. He's very happy. He doesn't play it up.
Speaking of clowns, I think he clowns on you a little bit. I'll bet you that was a joke in his. Like he's probably thinking, my brother's going to talk about me. I'm going to kid around and say you have a fax machine.
No.
I met Doc.
You got Doc's back. Yeah, there you go.
I think he's clowning you sometimes.
Hey, Major League Baseball wants to get the assistance of a federal mediator. And last night it was like social media's reaction was, oh, geez, this is terrible. This is going to be awful. I think it's most certainly good news for baseball fans. It means that the process should be expedited. It means negotiations are going to be above board. It means that the owner's demands and the players' demands are both going to be a matter of public record. I think it's a good idea getting a federal mediator involved. I think it's going to force both sides. What they want is going to be public knowledge. We're going to be able to hear about it. We're going to be able to get details on it and everything like that. And more importantly, it's the owner saying, we're not going to bully you. Here's our demand. Here's what we think's a fair deal. Now, players, you come up with a fair deal, and we'll sit down at a table and let a federal arbitrator decide what's fair. I think this is great news.
Sure, it's the first path to finding an agreement. And whenever you go to an arbitrator, a mediator, whatever it may be, that's kind of your last line of art. We really want to get this resolved, and somebody has to help us do it. So, yeah, I think it's good news also, John. I do. When you have two egos that are willing to admit, okay, we're not going to agree on something, we need somebody to help us, that's thank God. All right, good.
And if both sides agree to it, you're saying, what I would be saying at that point is if I agree to an arbitration, I'm saying my demands are legit. My demands are reasonable because I could get smacked down if they aren't. So, but if I'm agreeing to it, then I'm thinking the arbitrator is going to see that I'm negotiating in good faith.
Right, exactly.
So but I saw overwhelmingly people on social media going, "Oh, here we go. This is terrible." I think it's going to expedite it.
I think so too.
I'm very optimistic today that we're going to get a deal. I think spring training is going to be delayed, but I don't think the season necessarily gets delayed. I feel better about it this morning than I did. I think it's really good news for baseball fans.
I hate that spring training might be delayed because now you're talking about another non-regular season, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
It has an excuse built in.
These people that are cursing this move just don't understand how these negotiations work. This is the best news that could have come out for baseball fans. And I think I said it probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. The only time I was going to get excited about this was when they finally brought in a mediator.
And that's what it is.
The only time that this thing works. You got to get, the two guys from Wedding Crashers to come in and start breaking down airline miles and chastity. And
there we go.
Must have been some good times, the weddings and whatnot. So yeah, this is the only way to bridge the gap. It's worked in hockey. It's
good
worked
news.
in baseball.
This is good news.
Yeah, it's great news.
I think it's going to mean the season is. I think opening day will be opening day. I'm convinced February 4th. That opening day will go off on time.
Yeah, there may be some stipulations to expand the rosters to start the season because if spring training was cut short, whatever it may be. I just want a normal season. Like Connor and I yesterday. This is how idiotic we are. We have these little
Chandler and Joey.
Yeah, we have these little sponge balls that he and I have a catch with all the time. We were trying to throw it as hard as we could and hit the other guy's hand in a way that it sounded like a catcher's mitt in spring training that we hear all the time. That's how much we're aching for baseball already.
Hey, Tipico Sportsbook is now live in New Jersey. Listeners can claim an exclusive offer deposit, $10. Get $100 in instant credit. Visit Tipico.com or download the app. Terms and conditions apply. 21 and up. See website for details. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Cooney's Corner, it's an anniversary, and it's a happy one.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
It's a happy anniversary today.
When we think of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl 4 years ago, everybody has memories. And Anthony does such a wonderful job of having people open up at what it meant to them and what it meant to their families and how it affected them. And, John, you brought it up that you thought you may never see a Super Bowl.
I never thought I'd see it.
And a lot of people had, relatives, fathers, brothers, whatever it may be, that were no longer around, that they wish they could have shared it with them. All of those things. Look, when you think of celebrating, you think of drinking or banging pots and pans or, jumping around, whatever. But was there something else? Did you, especially with you guys, was there something else that about the celebration, I'm not going to say that surprised you about yourself, but that you either noticed or you did or you picked up on, anything like that after they won that Super Bowl?
That I cried.
Yeah.
Why? And then I cried.
Why did you cry?
Tears of joy. That it affected me more where the day after talking about it, I could cry. Watching the first time that I watched the Eagles when they came out with their DVD, and I watched it with my wife and daughter in the room, I cried.
Oh, okay.
Like to me, that's very odd for me. That's not me as far as a sporting event is joy, but not the crying part of it. I could cry. I could get choked up with little things about it all the time.
Right.
That surprised me the most.
Yeah. No, that's good. Pat?
Surprising.
You bought every piece of gear, right?
Not really.
No?
And it's funny. I think about that day, that entire day, because I relive it in my head all the time. And I think about every single part of that day and going down to Center City and partying on Broad Street. And I remember walking with the people I was with, like, well, there's a Modell's around here somewhere. And I literally looked to my left, and there it was. Going in, getting the shirt that I'm wearing now. Probably maybe the fact that I didn't curse on air. If I'm being honest.
Okay.
That's the one thing that surprised me was I kept my cool enough. And I didn't really keep my cool all that much, but I didn't curse on air because...
Top of the hour, you're going to hear this. Premiered to everybody.
I'm going to apologize to the city now, but...
I love it.
Yeah, I surprised myself telling the story that I talked about earlier of how much joy I got watching other people have the joy of what the Eagles brought to them.
It almost seems like you were watching it dispassionately, though.
No, it wasn't dispassionately. It was in
a
me.
weird time, though, too.
Yeah,
with
it was
your
in a weird time.
dying. And...
Yeah, but no, I did. I literally, I'll never forget it. Watching my kids and my nieces and nephews all over my house and watching them go crazy. I had a huge smile on my face. I loved it. I loved it. But like watching it, and this is just who I am. Like Pat and I were talking about our playing days the other day. I never changed expression on a basketball court. Never. My dad would say that about me all the time. I just never changed expression. And it was consciously on my part. I never was too up, never too down because I was concentrating the moment. But that aside, watching Anthony, as opposed to me being the one jumping up and down and maybe slugging the tequila or whatever, I got so much more joy watching Andrew and Jamie and Anthony and everybody else. It was just, that's what I got my joy
Your
out
joy
of
was
doing
watching
that.
them.
Yeah, and that's why I was really ticked. So the Eagles win the Super Bowl, and my poor wife is planning, her father's funeral, and says to me, look, do you have any insiders that might be able to tell you when the parade is? Because we don't want to schedule the funeral the day of the parade, and I know you're going to have to be there and stuff. So I make some phone calls, and people tell me, it's going to be Tuesday. So they planned the funeral on Thursday, and sure enough, the parade was on Thursday, so I wound up missing it. But
I was surprised, by the way, it was Thursday.
Yeah, it took a while.
It was weird.
But it took a while. I kind of like it right away. Phillies won on a Wednesday. They had it on a Friday.
I think they should have had it the following Saturday.
Oh, really?
I think it should have been a Saturday. Why are you...
Yeah,
if you're going to make it Thursday... If you're going to make it on Thursday... Now, the thing is, a lot of players want to get out of town. They want to get out of town and get on with their off season.
Yeah.
And that sometimes rushes it. But to me, a Saturday parade would have been the best thing in the world. Have everybody be a part of it.
Yeah, that Phillies parade on Halloween And it was a beautiful day. It was a Friday.
And it was balmy.
Oh, my God, it was beautiful. And I guess I took Bobby and Kyle and I went to the parade. I guess I took them out of school because kids do have school on Halloween. That was the perfect day. I mean, they got to go see a parade and then go dress up and go trick-or-treating.
And wasn't it a Friday?
Yeah, it was a Friday.
It was a Friday, which is even better.
Yeah. Oh, that was
awesome.
terrific.
There you go. A lot of fun with that. Pat's called the Super Bowl. We have not heard it, and Pat has not listened to it this morning. Correct, Pat? You have not listened to it? Or have you?
I have not heard it in probably 2 years.
Okay, good.
The last time I heard it, I wanted to stick hot pokers in my ears, which the listener's probably used to at this point.
You're going to hear it at 8 a.m. and you don't want to miss it. And I don't even know how bad it is.
I think I want to miss it.
And I absolutely can't wait. I will laugh too that when the moment happened, when the Eagles beat the Vikings, I was at the game, came up for the game, flew up for the game and everything. And as soon as the game was over, my mom calls me on the phone. And I said, Mom, and everything. And she goes, isn't that great? She goes, isn't that great? She said, I lived long enough to see this. And I said, they're going to win the Super Bowl, Mom? And she goes, absolutely.
How about that?
She goes, absolutely. They're going to win the Super Bowl. I lived long enough to see this. And when they won the Super Bowl, the minute the game was over, FaceTime comes in from my wife and daughter because I'm in Vegas and they're back. And my daughter and my wife are both on the phone. They both have tears in their eyes. My daughter's weeping, literally weeping. And she just goes, Daddy, they finally won the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. And all I could say was, and you were 14. Came out of my mouth. And you're 14. You only had to wait till you were 14 to see it.
See, she's happy for you, and you have to be that guy.
No, it just came out of my mouth. I'm like you only had to wait till you were 14 because it was a joke.
When you and your wife consummated the marriage, she can't help that.
That is the truth.
You know?
Wait a minute, wait. She was not conceived when we consummated the marriage.
All right, let's change subject.
Come on. She wasn't conceived that night.
There's a brushing teeth joke in there somewhere.
I got to tell you, though, Pat, I had that moment with my son, Kyle. One time. So we had people over. You remember when the Eagles lost in New Orleans on the big hit night?
Saturday
Reggie
night
Bush?
game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had a party. What year, Pat, you're great at this. Do you know what year? Was that 4 or something like that?
2000.
It wasn't 4.
No, it was like season, but it was 2005.
2005.
January or something, 2005.
Wait a minute.
No, that's when they won the Super Bowl. That's when they were in the Super Bowl.
Are you talking about the first Super Bowl?
No, 2009.
What game are you talking about?
It was the Jeff Garcia game. Jeff Garcia
that was 2008.
8. Okay.
But wasn't it 9 January?
I thought you were talking about the Super Bowl. It was January 2008.
You're right. Because then next year they went to Arizona, I believe.
Yeah, so our son Kyle, I guess, is like 8 years old. Something like, I don't know, I'm terrible at that. 8, 10. And, he's got his face painted and stuff and his jersey on. He's all pumped up. Eagles wind up losing. And like I said, we had a party. And he, turns to me and has tears in his eyes, kind of. And is like, are they ever going to win a Super Bowl? And I looked at him, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, you're 8 years old.
Stop it. Be quiet.
Yeah. I said, and then I caught myself as a parent and said, don't worry, buddy. You'll have plenty more fun times or whatever.
You will. Little did he know.
Yeah.
Dante in Northeast joins us on The Fanatic. Dante, what's going on, brother?
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
Doing well, man. What's going on this morning?
So, when I got up this morning, you guys were talking about your memories and where you were for the Eagles Super Bowl. Well, the reason why this day is so monumental to me is not because they won. It's because while they were winning, I was watching my daughter be born.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is great, Dante.
And although she does owe me a Super Bowl celebration, because I wasn't able to go down there and celebrate because of her being born, it was still the greatest moment that lived. And
now, did you have it on in the delivery room?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So while it was the last play of the game before that Hail Mary by Brady, she started crying, and the doctors had gave her to me so I can hold her.
Oh, my gosh.
So the last play of the game, I had her in my arms.
Oh, my gosh.
Just crying and just wiping all of the gook off of her that was,
That is awesome. That is the most awesome. Yeah. What is her name, Dante?
Aulani Zyla.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Brady.
That is beautiful. Hey, fantastic story. I love that story, man.
I had the game on in the delivery room.
Yeah.
What game?
The Eagles game, the Super Bowl.
What?
Because of the bet. And I told you that we made the bet that if they won the Super Bowl, we would have a child. So she's going in to
right,
deliver. So
Did you bring the DVD in?
I pulled up the game on my iPad and I started playing it because I'm like, this kid's coming out watching this damn game. Like, he's coming out a winner.
It's a good story.
So
That's amazing.
Well, then I realized, it got to and you guys know this, you get to a point where it's like, this baby's coming within the next hour. And I look down and we're in the second quarter. So I started skipping ahead. So I skipped ahead to the final drive, and he came out right after Ertz scored the touchdown.
How has she not killed you?
Well, and like the nurses were giving me crap. Shout out to the nurses, a holy redeemer, who were like looking at me like I'm nuts.
You realize you are, though,
no,
right?
No, but I didn't have the sound on. I had it like faintly down. I'm like, she's in extreme pain. She doesn't care. You think she cares? Like, I'm here. I'm present. I just want the child
you weren't present because you had your iPad.
I had the iPad on the table in the corner, so when he came out, he could see the iPad and see that the Eagles had indeed won the Super Bowl.
I'm Team Pat on this, man. I got to tell you, I thought when he told me this story a couple years ago, I was like, dude, that is a rocking moment. I'm totally Team Pat on this.
The nurses weren't fans of me. First of all, I was sleeping on the couch. I got woken up by the rudest nurse who said, "Do you want to watch the birth of your child or not?"
Ooh.
I was like, all right, lady, I'm not out in the parking lot.
That's not good.
Lines.
I don't like that.
All right, I'm sleeping. So then I got up, and then they kind of gave me some guff for the iPad thing, and I'm like, I'm not blasting it. I have it down low.
If your wife didn't say anything about it, what the hell do they have a right to comment about it?
I'm not a big fan of them. I'm going to be honest with you.
I got to be honest too.
I'm not a big fan of those nurses.
I'd say zip it.
They know who they are. Probably Cowboys fans.
If your wife didn't have an issue with it, zip it.
Yeah. She was cool with it, so...
seriously, zip it.
I always had good experience with those people when we had kids.
We had a great
We did not have a good experience.
I was watching Phillies versus San Diego Padres when my first kid was being born. Afternoon game, Wednesday. I'll never forget it. June 7th.
Phillies?
See?
San Diego Padres?
I swear to God, it was all that was on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
See, it's moments like that. We're building memories here, guys.
Yes, we are.
There's some woman who's driving around disgusted right now my behavior.
Our son Bobby, who was born during that game, the game was on, is like a baseball savant.
See?
He can talk 1930s baseball as well as he can talk 2022 baseball.
Huge Hippo Vaughn fan.
The weird thing is, though, is that after Olivia's born, Christina's then within like an hour or so, she's like, I kill for a cup of coffee. And I want something to eat. So I'm going down in the hospital. They have a McDonald's and they have a Starbucks. And I'm walking by this lady, and she's walking along, and she's using like a walker thing. And a very big lady. And I said to her, I said, keep walking. As I'm walking to the elevator, I said, keep walking. That's the way my wife got the baby to come out. So keep walking. And she said,
oh, no.
I've had the baby.
Yes.
And at that point, my wife said, would you just stop talking to people you don't know? Stop.
She has a fair point.
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to hear Pat Egan's call of the Super Bowl.
It's time for you to shut the
Oh, it's terrible. I've had terrible moments that just like that. And both now my daughter picks it up too. Dad, you don't need to talk to strangers. Just don't do it. We'll get to that. Pat Egan's call the Super Bowl kicks off our 8 o'clock hour. I can't wait to hear this. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Guys, the clock is ticking for Valentine's Day. It's February the 4th. You are within 9 days of having to have your business done. That's why naturally nude pajamas from pajamagram.com are a wonderful choice. And they're a wonderful choice for her and for you. It's the gift that gives to both of you because she loves these things and she's going to look beautiful in them. Naturally nude pajamas are sensuous and smooth. She's going to slip them on, and her stress is just going to go by the wayside. She's going to love it. It's the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all. You're going to love how she looks in them. She's going to love that she feels comfortable. She's lounging around, watching Netflix in her pajamagrams, and let's just say the gift that keeps on giving. Pajamagram also includes free gift packaging, so you don't have to wrap anything, and they make it easy for you. Get her naturally nude pajamas. Go to pajamagram.com or make it even easier. Text the word GIFT, G-I-F-T, to 41234. That's GIFT to 41234. Gives you the easy link. Order the naturally nude pajamas. She's going to love it. Fast, easy delivery by Valentine's Day is guaranteed. Get her pajamagrams this year and tell them that John Kincade sent you from 97.5 The Fanatic.
The John Kincade Show.
They're like the family from hell on acid that's on steroids.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Football Friday on The Fanatic is brought to you by Pump Man Philly. Need a water pump expert for your facility? Contact Pump Man Philly, the guys to know to fix your flow.
This winter, Comcast Business is helping Team USA and businesses across America stay ahead during the Olympic Winter Games. Keep yours ahead, too, with reliable connectivity and secure solutions on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. And get access to over 20 million Wi-Fi hotspots from coast to coast to help you stay connected on the go. So no matter what big event comes up, your team can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security, together for just $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 Visa prepaid card when you order online. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go online today to learn more. Offer ends 2/2022. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change.
Yo, Philadelphia, Anthony Gargano here with my childhood friend, Bob Marino. Bob, rumors are flying that you're the next Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, a two-sport man.
It's true. I still have the honorable position as director on the board of Spring Garden Lending, but I am also now president and vice chairman of Huntingdon Valley Bank.
Wow. Bob knows Bucks. That's a win-win for both teams.
Good call, Ant. I get to stay active with Spring Garden Lending and be an everyday player and president and vice chairman at Huntingdon Valley Bank.
I'm so proud of you, man. That's fantastic. From a lender to a banker, you've always been a player who can do everything. Now I know Spring Garden Lending provides bridge and permanent loans to build or renovate real estate in Philadelphia, Baltimore, and D.C. What's the lowdown on Huntingdon Valley Bank?
And it's a fast-growing, full-service community bank with top-notch resources and products and committed to delivering excellent customer service.
You heard it here. Bob knows Bucks. Bob Marino making moves, stepping up, member of the board of directors at Spring Garden Lending and president of Huntingdon Valley Bank. Good luck, Bob. You're the GOAT.
If it's after lunch, I probably wouldn't have fed him to the Tigers. I get a little ornery when I'm hungry, and timing is everything, people. That's why my Sportsbook app has live in-game betting for football. I don't care if the game has already started. If the time to make your move is in the second half, go for it. Caesar's got you. Caesar likes to move freely. That's why I'm partial to the total.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a nature show host.
In the native habitat of a suburban driveway, the poor victim of a broken windshield is left assessing his vehicle, utterly helpless.
Well, not true. If he's got Geico, he can file a claim online, over the phone, or with his handy mobile app.
But like a lone gazelle, he'll suddenly be left to fend for himself, awaiting his terrible fate.
Nope. Geico will assign him a designated claims team to help him out, too.
So the gazelle gets his car fixed and everything. Wow. Nature is so cool.
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Introducing the next generation of compact digital manifolds from Testo. Best-in-class Bluetooth range and wireless clamps. Easy to use, fast, accurate results. Large graphics, all in one compact, rugged package. Testo digital manifolds are field-ready, fully smart, and fully wireless, just like the top HVAC technicians who use them. For a digital manifold that won't test your patience, visit Testo.com to find a local distributor near you or order online at Testo.com. Testo.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Love. It makes us do crazy things, like being the first one to say, I love you, or adopting a cat together when you're more of a dog person. Celebrate the madness of love with a perfect Valentine's gift from Hellsberg Diamonds. Right now, half-carat diamond heart pendants in your choice of white, yellow, or rose gold are just $399.99, a savings of $400. Show her you're smitten with the gift of gorgeous jewelry at our best prices of the season. Hurry, Valentine's Day is Monday, February 14th. Shop at Hellsberg.com or visit a store near you.
Yes, BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, and they don't use that term lightly. They are truly the king, and one of the reasons why is they're the king of parlays. They have this thing, the same game parlay. It just is how it sounds. You pick a game, let's say in the NBA, and you can build a parlay from just that game. So say you want to do the local team. Well, you can take them to win. You can take the big man over with blocks, rebounds, points. You can take the point guard over with assists. You can build it however you want, and then you just kick back and relax because you're watching that game and you're knowing exactly how you did. And you can build the odds to astronomical proportions, or you can, make it modest and let's say minus 110. Whatever you want. It's one game parlay, and it's one of the best features at BetMGM. They also want to give you your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. All you have to do, register with the King of Sportsbooks, BetMGM.com or the BetMGM app, and they're going to ask you if you want to enter a bonus code. You just type in Pat Egan. When you type in Pat Egan, your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. So you could check out the same game parlay. You can check out an odds boost. You can check out a lock, or you could check out a long shot. It doesn't matter because your first bet is going to be risk-free no matter what, up to $1,000. But you have to use the bonus code Pat Egan to get in on that offer. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age to order to wager. New Jersey and Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards, issues, non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire within 7 days of issuance. If you or somebody knows gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball. And Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
It's spelled Kincade, Kincade. Just so you know when you're writing your complaint emails.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
8 a.m. hour, the John Kincade Show is brought to you by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com. Reminder that Joel Embiid will join Mike Missinelli on Monday in the 4 o'clock hour. Monday, make the appointment for...
First of all, I ain't no bitch.
There you go.
Is that like a warning to Mike?
Yeah.
Is he telling you, watch your questions, Mike Missinelli?
Joel's funny. Like, when you talk to him, once he gets, it's almost like he gets warmed up when you interview him, Joel. Like, there were times where we would start an interview and he'd say some things, and it's like, all right, come on, dude, dive deeper. And then once he got rolling, he's really smart. He really knows the game. He really studies a lot of things. I never came away from a lengthy interview with Joe without positively saying, like, wow, that was something I never thought I would hear come out of his mouth, maybe, or something like that.
I'm going to give you a little insight into the Shaq Ben Simmons discussions coming up that was making news yesterday. But I want you to hear it now. We promised it to you. You've heard Al Michaels' horrendous call of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, which wasn't even a call. It was terrible. You've heard the legendary Merrill Reese's call, I'm sure. Exceptional, awesome, great to hear Merrill do it. But have you gotten to hear Pat Egan's call of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl? And this is real, because he was hosting on 97.5 The Fanatic that night. It was before I got to know you, Pat. And if I had known you, maybe would I have thought differently about adding you to the show? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I can't wait to hear this. Transport yourself back 4 years ago tonight when the Eagles were winning the Super Bowl.
Folks, the clock hit 0. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. I will see you at City Hall. Let's go. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
I'm embarrassed.
Okay, wait a minute.
That was awesome.
Pat, I don't think that was as terrible as you said. Can we hear it one more time?
Yeah, one more time, Pat.
One more time.
Do it all over again.
the Super Bowl again.
No, let's do it.
No. It's better than Al Michaels'
I
call.
want to run through a wall right now.
Pat, if you pull up Al Michaels' call at some point, that was a better call than Al Michaels.
It was. It's not much better. All right, here's it again.
Folks, the clock hit 0. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. I will see you at City Hall. Let's go. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
Pat, I don't think that's terrible
It's
at
the
all.
cracking of my voice like Peter
Well, that's
Brady.
funny. Yeah, that's funny.
I'll put $1 in the jar.
Yeah, put $1 in the jar
my
there
voice
on
was
that.
so shot.
Yeah, but that
throughout
to
the
me,
4 hours.
I don't think that was a terrible call at all. In fact, that is better than Al Michaels' call.
It's pure joy.
Yeah,
It was awesome. It was real. First of all, you were authentic. You were real.
It was indeed.
He was going through puberty, obviously.
You were
haven't hit the growth spurt.
You were understanding, like you were able to understand exactly what you were celebrating. I mean,
yeah, I was.
I think you did a really good job with it.
That's great.
I don't think that's bad at all.
Did a whole speech
you
before
did?
that about how like it's for the people that couldn't be here now, the people that passed away without seeing it, and there was that mixed in there somewhere. Yeah, the whole.
Did you
4
feel
hours
yourself choking up at all a little bit?
No, I don't get emotional. I was just pure happiness and joy.
Happy, joy.
That's the most like I've ever tipped
That's
an
an
Uber
emotion,
driver.
Pat, just to let you know.
Couldn't wait to get into the Uber and head down to Broad Street.
You talk about the people who couldn't be there. So the church, so I go to church on Saturday, so I'm there for Super Bowl weekend in Vegas, and there's a church that I go to for Mass, and I'll go Saturday afternoon. So I go to Mass, and they have a guest book where you can sign in. And I signed in. I took a picture of it somewhere. I got to find it. I wrote in an intention of all my dead uncles and my dad, who were the ones who gave me my love of the Eagles. And I put them all in the book and asked them to, and I put Fly, Eagles, Fly.
Oh, that's cool.
And invoked them. And look, they were there with me. And they all would have been at the betting windows. I would never have seen them.
Yeah.
They would have all just been they would have been watching the ponies. And then they would have been betting on the game, so I never would have seen them.
Sure.
Until the game started. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. That's absolutely that is
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Jeff in D.C. has something to say here. Jeff, you fell in love with Pat Egan? This is like a real story.
This is the day I became president for life of the Pat Egan fan club. Was February 4th when he made that call, and it was unbelievable. It was. I mean, we all had the same feelings, right? But Pat spoke for all of us that night. That's kind of how I felt. It's like, yeah, Al Michaels' call was awful.
Awful.
Call was okay. But Pat, we were all Pat that night. That's the real thing.
Jeff,
I mean, that's the real thing. Here's my, everybody's got a story. My story.
Yeah, real quick. My brother, who we were raised in different places, so he grew up a Broncos fan. He was the first person to call me after the game, and I just watched a video of it, and I tore up because I tear up because he has since passed. But he called me, and he said, "Drink it in, bro. Drink it in. This is what it feels like to be a winner." And I was just bawling. It's awesome. It's awesome. And Pat, Jeff, I love that you said that. Pat, you told me it was going to be terrible. I thought that was pretty.
Look,
I got to tell you, that was better than.
It's more of like my voice cracking that drives. First of all, nobody likes the sound of their own voice.
No.
So there's that. So
the sound of your own
combining
voice.
it with my voice cracking. I mean, I appreciate Jeff's kind words and
president.
Yeah,
he's the president.
I want to be in that club.
Checks in the mail. No,
I
you
thought
laughed
I
at
was
me, Bobby. You laughed.
You laughed.
I laugh with you, Pat. I laugh with you. No,
you chose Connor. You chose Connor over him.
It was couldn't have done it without Tyler Zulli, who was on the board
Tyler
that
was
night.
there too.
And it was one of those moments that I'll never forget. And yeah, it was cool. It was cool to be able to say I was the first person, on this station to say the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
And I think that was a really good call. I really do.
I don't think it was better than Michael's. Michael's still doesn't know if that game's over.
I don't know.
Collinsworth is trying to figure out if the ball crossed the plane.
I don't necessarily know that I would have done a better job than that. That was in that moment. I would have been so distracted, so excited.
No, it's cool to
That
hear.
was excellent, Pat.
Yeah, you because you're a fan also.
Correct.
So that was perfect.
I have the full 4 hours. I'll try to
You
upload
are
it.
perfect.
Oh, we don't want the full 4 hours.
No, we can play the full 4 hours.
No, we
Yeah,
can't
sure
do
we
that.
can.
We'll start
Well,
at
just
9
play
o'clock
2
out.
of them, and then we can get out of
Maybe
here.
we do best of on the weekend. Maybe the best of Pat Egan show.
Is there a
Coach,
best of?
Could we have the best of Pat Egan show? Have you ever considered that?
Mike Missinelli just said he couldn't come in today at 2 o'clock, so Pat Egan is going to be doing 2 to 6 today.
Best of 4. It could be.
Can Egan do it?
Hey, Staples stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or visit staplesconnect.com. My man Shaquille O'Neal, I guess on his TNT podcast, had some things to say that he got DM'd by Ben Simmons. So immediately I reached out yesterday and I said, I will tell you exactly what my text chain was. I said, dude, why didn't you tell me this? Ben has really been a little B, is how I wrote it. And he says, that's sort of what I told him. I have very few details that I'm going to share with you of what went on, but put it this way. Shaquille O'Neal has always tried to reach out to Ben Simmons and be the kind of like big brother that a lot of players will have in the league. They'll have somebody who looks out for them and everything, and there's the LSU connection and everything like that. Shaquille has tried many, many times to be that for Ben Simmons. He is that for many players in the NBA. Some players in the NBA do not like Shaq and Charles's brand of tough love. Joel Embiid has leaned into it, accepted it, and now Shaq and Charles are constantly banging the drum for him as MVP guy now. Because they saw, you push this guy a little bit, he pushes back and shows you, yeah, you don't think I can do this? Let me show you. Ben Simmons has never showed him that. But I can tell you this, is that Ben is very hypersensitive to Shaquille's criticism. Very personally hurt by it. And I will just tell you is that that's not how Shaq plays. He doesn't play that way. Bitch. He doesn't play that way. If you can't take some tough criticism, if you can't take some things, and also, too, as there's nothing that Shaq would say on television that he wouldn't say to your face. And I don't think Ben Simmons wants that. But I think Ben Simmons sort of expects there's an LSU connection that Shaq should have his back. Shaq should be carrying the water for him a little bit. And he's like, that's not happening.
Look, I don't know this firsthand, but I'm starting to wonder, is there anybody that Ben Simmons isn't upset with that doesn't have his back? I mean,
It's the
Shaq
truth
said,
right
I watched an interview with Shaq yesterday, and he said, look, I was a guy that couldn't make free throws. And people were saying, take him out of the game. And I had coaches that said, start making your damn free throws, or else we're going to have to take you out of the game. And he said, and if you look in clutch time, I kind of had to make and he did. And Shaq was a horrible free throw shooter, but down the stretch when he had to make them, he was better than his average.
A lot better than his average.
So, his point being, look, Kobe Bryant called me out. I called him out. We were great enough players that we took that and ran with it. Why can't Ben Simmons? It doesn't seem to be in his personality right now to take criticism and build himself from it, much like his teammate Joel Embiid.
You can go back and hear, if you just go to the big podcast with Shaq, you can go back and hear some of the episodes and see who we talked to. I got to mediate him and Kobe. I got to do the conversation between Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, and both Phil Jackson and Pat Riley said coaching Shaq was exhausting.
I could imagine.
But it was very rewarding because he would take a challenge on. But they always knew that you couldn't just tell him something. There had to be a reason, because he wanted to know the reason, and he was going to push back even on them. Phil Jackson called him fat. Phil Jackson called him fat and said
Was he wrong?
No, I know. But the thing is, the Shaq goes, he says, if anybody had a right to go, wait a minute, by this time he already was like a champion.
Sure.
He already was. And Pat Riley and Phil Jackson's calling me fat. I could have been pissed about that. I could have said, No. He goes, I knew that part of it was true. And Phil Jackson got on him about the toe surgery. And Pat Riley talks about the fact that when we had the interview that there's some real pushback. Coaching Shaq was sort of exhausting.
And I could imagine it was. I mean, Shaq has said on these airwaves that NBA coaches don't really mean that much.
Yes.
And when
how much is he listening?
Yeah. So
how do you get him in line?
Yeah. And if he's saying that to his teammates or anybody else, where's my power going?
Yes.
If I have Shaquille O'Neal saying that. So, but how much coaching does a Shaquille O'Neal need? Like, dude, go out there and dominate. Okay.
And that was the thing is that he needed. I think he'll talk about it. Is that the need to have somebody believe in him? I think he wounded Ben Simmons with words, and that's really damning. Because what did Shaq say that isn't true?
Yeah.
And
look,
what did he? I mean, like, and Ben Simmons was wounded by words, and that's crazy to me.
All Ben Simmons doing now is proving Shaq right. It appears.
Yeah.
Like going into his DMs and saying whatever he said, and Shaq saying, "Look, I'm talking to you. Talk back to me then. Tell me where I'm wrong." That's where I get what I hate in life is the passive aggressiveness. I just can't stand that. If you have a problem, talk it out, or say something to that person, or whatever it may be.
And you may fight it out, not fighting physically.
Yeah,
but you may fight it out. You may be like, well, you know what? Screw you.
And guess what?
Screw
Yeah,
you
may not come to an agreement,
but you at least had it.
Exactly.
The conversation.
Yeah. So it's a weird situation. Ben Simmons appears to be looking for someone that'll just back him. I don't know who is. In all honesty, I just don't know who is.
And I think it comes on the heels of the Ramona Shelburne story, too. It's right around the same time period where I think Ben Simmons was desperately looking for someone to carry the water for him, Pat. Wanted somebody to have his back, wanted somebody to speak on his behalf. And Shaq don't play that. I mean, he just doesn't. He doesn't.
No, he's honest.
And he always says, he'd criticize. We would have players on. We had Dame Lillard on. He criticized Dame about, something about Dame needs to work on in his game. And he goes, all love. He goes, all love. I'm saying this with all love. Like, take your game to another level. Take it. And most players would go, gotcha. I understand. I understand. I love you. Love that. Understand it. I know you're looking out for me. I know you respect my game. You could say 4 positive things about somebody. You say the 5th thing, it's negative. And I think Ben Simmons is one of those guys that gets wounded.
I think that. I think also the tie-in with LSU.
Oh, it definitely
I think he feels like, dude, we went to the same college, even though I went
He
there
went one semester.
I went one semester and barely went at all.
He barely went.
But I think he thinks that, Shaq shouldn't be critical. And how can you not be? Because as we've said on these airwaves, he really hasn't taken any step since he left college. In fact, I think he's gotten worse.
I think it's more the line of too critical.
Well, once again, you haven't gotten better.
And feeling like it's personal. Like when Shaq and Charles speak, it sounds personal.
It does.
Yeah. It sounds more personal than other analysts, but that's part of what makes that show great.
Well, look, one analyst has been through exactly what Shaq and Charles have been through.
Right.
If I'm a player and I'm listening to an analyst, I pick one, and they're saying, yeah, well, what about this? What were you thinking there? You're going to get up in your feels if you're an NBA player. When Shaq and Charles talk to you, you're absorbing like a little kid. You're absorbing it and saying, wow, these guys are telling me something. I got to listen.
And the thing is, too, is that I don't know what to say. If Dan Patrick walked in the studio, if he walks in and says, guys, your show, I love this, I love this, I love this. Why don't you work on this? I wouldn't walk out of the studio going, oh, damn, Dan Patrick just told us we needed to work on something. I'd be like, damn, we're going to work on that.
Yeah.
He told us 3 things that he loved.
But with Ben Simmons, you feel like it's
the one thing that you're.
I think it's more of like he's jealous. Shaq's jealous of me because I was number 1 overall pick, and well, it's not like Shaq wasn't, but
right, exactly.
I had my documentary, and I'm way better than him. Look, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I definitely feel like this is a guy that is jealous of Joel Embiid and the love that he has with the city. You saw it in the Ramona Shelburne piece. He's jealous of the fact that Joel Embiid and Daryl Morey have a relationship because they're similar, and he doesn't have that. So I feel like jealousy is a big part of who Ben Simmons is. And I feel like for whatever reason, maybe he feels like Shaq is jealous of him.
I would tell you that if Shaq wanted to be a bad person, we could all see it. we could see the exchange. If he wanted to be a bit, someone DMs you,
Yeah.
you have the right. It's your property. You got the right to screenshot it and save it.
Yeah, he said it.
I can tell you he is a very kind soul.
Well, he said it yesterday in his interviews when people said, well, what did he say? He said, no, I'm not going to get into that. That's not for public knowledge, but I will say that, I wish he would listen to me and
yeah, there it is.
All of that.
And I think it is with all love. I really do. I think he wants to see him. I don't think either Shaq or Charles don't want to see these guys succeed. I think they love seeing young guys do their thing. Yeah, Shaq's favorite player is Steph Curry. Like, he loves Steph Curry. He thinks Steph Curry because he doubted Steph Curry.
No, yeah, exactly.
And he goes, man, he continually has proven me wrong.
Yeah. And, Shaq had a good point yesterday in one of the interviews I saw. And, look, we can't relate to this and we can roll our eyes at it, but they are in a different thing that we can imagine. He said, look, Michael Jordan made the money for me. I made the money for somebody else down the line. And he's not making the money now and doing what he's supposed to do for guys down the line. And it's a fraternity that we can never be privy to or probably understand. But that kind of hit me like, you know what? He's kind of right on that.
When I did the Shaq-Kobe interview, Kobe at one point tells this story of one day he got tired of Shaq's BS. And by the way, Shaq had said it was 70% him. The problems in their relationship were 70% Shaq and 30% Kobe. And he said Kobe finally got tired of being verbally talked down to and sort of pushed around, and he decided to bow up on Shaq. And Shaq took his fist and lifted it and was ready to take a swing at him. And Kobe said he went home that afternoon, stood in front of the mirror, and shook, saying, I could have had my face.
No, yeah.
And he said, but the minute that Shaq tells the same story, from that point on, he said, I knew that he was worthy of every bit of respect that I wanted to give him.
How about that? Yes, it takes those moments. It takes those moments sometimes.
He wanted him to almost stand up to him.
Yeah.
He wanted him to say, push back on me.
Yeah.
Don't let me bully you. Push back. Show me what you got. And the minute that Kobe did, Shaq's opinion changed, but Kobe said, I stood in front of the mirror going, my pretty face was about to be rearranged by Shaquille O'Neal. Hey, the big game's here, and prop swappers are cashing in, finding the best odds on Prop Swap when you buy directly from other bettors. You can download the free Prop Swap app today. All right, we have plenty coming your way, and so many exciting things that we're going to be talking to you about, including a new edition of Cooney's Column that comes your way next. It's a big popular new item on the show, which is fun. Hang out with us, won't you? Hopefully your Friday, the 4th of February, just a beautiful day. We all remember it 4 years ago today. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Let me tell you about that Parks Casino Sportsbook app. I love it, and I love it because you want to have a game plan, and you want to be thinking of how you're going to enjoy the big game next weekend. Well, one of the ways you do it is you feel like, I'd love to have that bet on the coin flip. I'd love to have that bet on the individual player performances. I'm going to give you my best 5 prop bets next week that you can wager on the Parks Casino Sportsbook app. Every day, I'm going to have one for you, and I've got numbers that tell you you need to cash in on them. So you're going to want to get loaded on the app right now. Go to parkscasino.com/PA. Use my promo code Kincade, and you get a risk-free bet refunded in site credit up to $500. The website will have all the details for you. You love watching the game when you got a little action on it. When you're watching the big game, the biggest game of the year, you want to be involved, knee deep. And the Parks Sportsbook app gives you so many ways to wager, you're going to have an absolute blast. The same-game parlays let you cash in big time. The Parks Sportsbook app, it's game time. You got to be 21 in the state of Pennsylvania. Sixers, 1-point underdogs tonight. You might want to think about it. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
God, I am so sick of this crap.
Is this the show?
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia celebrates Black History Month, highlighting remarkable accomplishments and achievements of African-American Philadelphians.
Bernard Hopkins, born and raised in Philadelphia, went on to be the undisputed middleweight champ and later became the light heavyweight champion. 2001 Fighter of the Year after he knocked out the previously undefeated Felix Tito Trinidad. When B-Hop beat Gene Pascal for the light heavyweight title, he became the oldest world champion in boxing history. At the age of 46, he finished with a record 55-8-0.
in 2.
Black History Month, proudly supported by Philly Pretzel Factory. Don't forget the party tray and 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
When you're in the mood for comfort food, Wawa has you covered. Try our savory brisket, made from the finest cuts of beef, hand-trimmed and slowly braised to perfection. Savor the richness of a tangy barbecue and layers of tender beef. Enjoy your brisket on a brioche bun or in a hearty bowl. Wintertime is the right time for barbecue brisket from Wawa. Order yours today, in-store or on the Wawa app. Gotta have a Wawa. Come in from the cold for something hot and comforting from Wawa. Savor the handcrafted salty sweetness of a toasted caramel crunch latte, topped with a caramel drizzle and crunchy caramelized sugar. Or cozy up to the warm, inviting vanilla sugar and spice aromas of our cinnamon bun coffee, bursting with a delicious fresh baked flavor. Treat yourself and try them both this winter to create your very own getaway to deliciousness. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hi, it's me, Steven Singer. Yep, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. Valentine's Day is here, and it's a day to celebrate that special woman in your life. Show her just how much she's loved. At Steven Singer Jewelers, we're jewelry experts. Better yet, we're love experts. How many times a day do you tell her, I love you? Probably not enough. So I created a way to show your endless love with our new exclusive Ring of Hearts diamond necklace. It's not a ring, but it's a necklace that features a ring of diamond hearts. This necklace is simply breathtaking. It features an unending circle of diamond hearts that will remind her every single day of your love. My exclusive Ring of Hearts diamond necklace is outlined with 15 hearts, each set with a brilliant cut diamond. It's like telling her 15 times a day how much you love her. It's only $128. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com, always with fast and free shipping, or visit me at the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philly. Real diamonds from a real jeweler for the real love of your life. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com.
Yes, I'm so sorry about the wait, ma'am. I'll be with you shortly. Carrie, how many appointments did we book at 2:30?
Jin's physical therapy clinic is pretty stretched.
With some light stretching.
He needs another PT before patients get bent out of shape.
You get a fresh ice pack for Miss Davis's knee.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch tear in the driver's seat does have sentimental value since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
This is Unibet, one of Europe's leading betting apps. And this is Nigel. Hello. Nigel has just been promoted from head of Unibet Europe to head of Unibet US. Nigel doesn't know anything about American sports.
QB Scramble. Is that some sort of American frittata?
Download the app or visit pa.unibet.com. Get $500 risk-free and take advantage of the odds. Before Nigel figures them out. Unibet. Crazy about the odds.
Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, there is a nice piece of stock music playing behind me that a talented composer worked really hard on. So let's enjoy it. Wow, almost overshadows the saving big when you switch to Progressive part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The big game needs big snacks, and no game day is complete without a Philly Pretzel Factory party tray. With your choice of mustards like spicy brown or honey mustard and sweet dips like brownie batter or buttercream, there's something for everyone. Find your nearest Philadelphia area location and order now at PhillyPretzelFactory.com. Whether you're the host or the guest, be the MVP when you bring the pretzels. Pre-order your tray at PhillyPretzelFactory.com. Philly Pretzel Factory, the official soft pretzel of the Philly sports fan.
This winter, Comcast Business is helping Team USA and businesses across America stay ahead during the Olympic Winter Games. Keep yours ahead, too, with reliable connectivity and secure solutions on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. And get access to over 20 million Wi-Fi hotspots from coast to coast to help you stay connected on the go. So no matter what big event comes up, your team can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security, together for just $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 Visa prepaid card when you order online. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go online today to learn more. Offer ends 2/2022. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
You may not officially be one of my endless cousins, but I do consider you part of our family.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Shout out to one of my buddies, Steve, who said, am I the last guy on the planet to realize that the Queen in the Caesars TV ads is Halle Berry? And I said,
no, he was not. Maybe if he's just realizing it now. I swear to God, I didn't know until way into the game.
Who did you think she was?
I didn't know. I just thought it was
beautiful
just somebody.
woman that was...
Yeah. I did not know it was her. And she is aging tremendously.
He says he texted our common friend Brian and said neither one of them knew.
I said it at the house. I was like, did you know this was Halle Berry? And Don was like, yeah. I had no idea.
I don't know if it's just facial recognition with her or whatever, but she is such a beautiful lady.
Yes, she is.
And she is aging incredibly well. She really is.
She's doing all right for herself.
She is. Whatever she's doing, I need to be doing more of. Let's put it that way.
Her new movie's trash.
Is it Moon?
Yeah, Moonfall.
Moonstruck? Moonfall.
It was an absolute hot piece of garbage.
Okay, Pat.
Go see it today.
Pat, without giving away the story, because in the previews, the moon is actually like an alien warship or something?
It's out of orbit, and then, a conspiracy theorist doctor has to team up with a disgraced former astronaut to try to save the world.
Okay.
But it's as if your uncle, who constantly is sharing those crazy articles on Facebook, decided to write a movie. And it's bad.
Really?
I can't believe she signed up for it. I feel bad for her.
Well,
is she at that point in her career
where you just want the money?
Got to sign up for bad movies?
Her last
you just want the money?
Have been bad, man.
I can't believe that she would need to do that.
Yeah, and she's talented.
She is talented.
God, yeah.
And she's gorgeous.
But yeah, she is.
There's that.
Hey, get out your local PJ Wellahans this weekend. I know Bob will be there.
I know you think I'm a PJ's whore. We ordered out from PJ's last night.
Oh, my gosh, you really did?
I got buffalo chicken salad.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, the wing of the month is Buffaque, which Bob was thinking about contemplating as a disease. By the way,
to the lab.
I promised that Pat Egan's is the only one. Jim from PJ said yesterday, the only person that the chef has heard from. Pat, you have to send me the email. I'd send the email, so I can submit it. He says the only person that the head chef has heard from at the test kitchen is Pat with his proposed flavor. I've got 2, and I'm going to ask for a recommendation. I want to know that because someone accused me yesterday that that's cheating. That if I ask the chef, because here's what I'm thinking.
It's on the cheating.
Okay, I want to know because I've heard one of my suggestions. Someone who grills said to me, that might not work because of some thing. So I'm going to ask, and they get to, it's not cheating because it's like I'm giving them the proposal and saying, can we execute this? Because they're going to help us in the PJ's test kitchen.
It's not cheating. Now I have a problem because Coach just said, all fair, he wants to be a part of this. Coach doesn't come out to the PJ's events.
He doesn't.
And all of a sudden he wants to be, like, his wing would be just the bone.
And more important, no, what would be really the big thing is?
Wing of the month,
Coach,
just the bone.
Coach, you are an accomplished chef from a culinary school.
Yeah, but I don't practice.
That has written books.
Not a practicing
I don't practice
chef.
it.
I don't
You don't
care.
have to. You're
The
very
thing
good
is,
at
though,
it.
is here's the deal. PJ's is going to make the winning wing is going to get its own month. Only one of us is going to be able to brag that when we go into a PJ's and go, oh, by the way, the Cooney wing of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Only one of us is going to get this title.
Since I can't be a part of it, I will tell you that.
Do you want to be?
No.
How about a judge?
I'm just going to say I'll be a judge, but
okay.
If you, I don't know too many places that make this. I've asked. I've done this myself.
Don't.
Wasabi wings.
So no, they already have. Yeah, but they've already had wasabi.
I don't know if they have.
They have. Yeah.
Are you sure about
yes,
that?
Yeah.
I know my PJ's.
This is what I love. Like, he comes up with a great idea. Buffalo sauce wings.
On the wings?
Have they tried that?
No,
Are you sure?
No, he suggested that there would be a mild and a hot. That's
Wow.
what he says he's taking it. Coach, how about this? We will put you on the judging panel, but you cannot watch us prepare because then you would know whose wing you were eating. So
Yeah,
you
he
can't
ain't
okay?
allowed in the kitchen.
So you're not allowed in the kitchen. Okay.
wait.
Do you want to be there for it?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, good.
But the way he eats, he'll like look at a
then
couple of
spit
wings
it out?
and he'll sniff it
No,
or
no,
something.
no.
He won't. I don't know. I don't trust him as a judge.
That's not true.
You can't get somebody that doesn't eat to be a food judge.
Wings are great for my diet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I mean,
It's
wings
the strangest diet ever, isn't it, John?
Well, I mean,
It
wings,
is weird. I mean, chew it and spit it out.
No. Wings without all the heavy sauce on them. I mean, you can have some sauces, but you just can't pour because most of those sauces.
Who says you can't?
Are well, you can. I wouldn't, but because most of those sauces are made of 75% butter.
It's time for you to
Yeah, but guess what?
It
That
really
makes it.
is.
We might like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
that's
not
why
all.
I'm-
We all don't eat like
That's why I'm saying you do you.
Coach should not be a distraction.
That's why when you walk into your favorite store, they have a chocolate ice cream and a vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
It's time for you to
But
shut
the thing is, though, you say you do you, but you said you can't do that.
I can't. Yes.
Okay, yeah, but you said you can't do that.
No. You can do whatever.
Okay,
you
we'll
want.
do all those. Hey, you'll love it too. Your local PJ Wellahans. The Buffaque is the flavor of the month. That took one off Bob's list. Wash them down with PJ's $4 draft. Every day, happy hour specials. You're going to love it. The Football Friday on The Fanatic is brought to you by our friends at Pump Man Philly.
Pump.
See, I like that.
Pump.
That's sort of sensual.
Your flow needs fixing. Fix your flow. Pump.
Hey, you need a water pump expert for your facility? Pump Man Philly, the guys to know to fix your flow. By the way, Pump Man, fills a doorway. He looks sort of like a Wreck-It Ralph. Like he could come in there and just,
Love that movie.
knock
Yeah.
the hell out of you. I mean, I don't know, the soft-spoken Pump Man, I guess it's for everybody.
So you're saying when
I'm
he
having
shows
trouble
up,
with my voice today, so I can't scream the pump.
Hey, what is your voice say? A little,
I think allergies are. Whenever it rains hard, my allergies kill me.
Okay.
It's weird.
Are you saying that when the pump man shows up, there's no doubt about who the pump man is?
No. When Pump Man shows up at your place, you'll know it. You'll know it. We love the Pump Man. We love the Pump Man.
If I ever have flow problems, you know who I'm calling.
Pump.
Dr. Avidan Appel and the Pump Man. Depends on if it's you having the problem or your house.
I told you about that
There you
personal
go. I'm
problem
sorry about
behind,
that.
and that wasn't for air. But you went on the air with
Wait
it.
a minute. I heard you and Bob recording an ad the other day that you were going to talk. Bob, that you decided not to air that.
Didn't feel comfortable broadcasting that to the Delaware Valley, but here you are.
Sixers and the Mavs tonight at 10 o'clock. So that means after a night out in the town, I'm going to be curled up in the Kincade under a blanket, hoping not to fall asleep.
Nah,
Seriously.
you can make it. It's a weekend. Come on.
By the way, Pam says dinner's on tonight. So going out with Pam and her fantastic man in her life.
Sweet.
We're heading out into Westchester, and she's like, no, we're on. We are on.
It might be more northwest than
Yes.
even you. So we'll
Could
see.
very well be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Cooney's column for the day.
Let's turn the page and find out what's in Cooney's column.
All right, I will preface this by saying the more I get to see Phil Mickelson, especially away from the golf course, the more I've come to like him. He appears affable, very in tune with the goings-on of the world outside of golf, and tuned in with his fans. But when I saw the headline of a story that said Mickelson was sounding off on the greed of the PGA Tour, I probably, like many, felt the eyes rolling towards the top of my head. Greed in a sport that has been so uppity in their stance on membership through the years. Greed of a sport where it seems to reek of money at every turn. Well, it appears Nicholson will soon be joining a not-yet-formed Super Golf League, which reportedly has offered Lefty $100 million. Mickelson's complaint, though, with the PGA is its handling of revenue and media rights. He did a lengthy interview with Golf Digest, and I don't doubt, I truly don't, that Mickelson is as out of tune with the everyday person as the headline and the initial reactions to his thoughts will elicit. He probably is looking out for the betterment of the sport, for the future golfers of the PGA Tour. A tour, by the way, which has garnered him close to $100 million in career earnings. But we are talking about millions and even billions of dollars here. Few fans can relate. Many will be tuned out and turned off by Mickelson's comments, such as, this is Mickelson, it's not public knowledge all that goes on, he told Golf Digest, but the players don't have access to their own media. If the tour wanted to end any threat of another league, they could just hand back the media rights to the players. But they would rather throw $25 million here and $40 million there than give back the roughly $20 billion in digital assets they control, or give up access to the $50 million plus million they make every year on their own media channel.
Okay.
Millions? Billions? Sorry, Phil, you've lost us. Phil then goes on to say, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. My ultimate loyalty is to the game of golf and what it has given me. I am so appreciative of the life it has provided me. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know where things will be headed. I do know I will be criticized. Well, Phil, you got one thing right. Criticism, here we come.
That was very good.
I enjoyed it.
And I love that. I like that we went to a different angle. Like that's one I expected today.
My favorite part of Cooney's column is you've done this 3 or 4 times now, and each time it's something that it's a topic that you wouldn't expect.
And we don't know where we don't know where we're going in Cooney's column. You never know.
Yeah, see, when you don't know what's coming, it's usually a good thing.
I love that.
That's not always true.
Yeah, it's just, look, I really do. Phil Mickelson's in a world that none of us understands. He does deal in a business where millions and billions are part of it, and he is a big part of it, having made over $100 million career earnings. So him looking out for it, he can't just be quiet on his, he feels, on what has made him what he is. He is looking out for the betterment in his mind. But to us, this is just not understandable.
Well, the one thing, too, that I say to him is
who's struggling
you're
here?
supposed to control Major League Baseball controls the content, the video content. You cannot, with the express written consent of Major League Baseball, the NHL, the NFL. So what does he wants every golfer to control their own?
Because it's an individual sport is part of his. It's a long story in Golf Digest, and feel free to look it up or go to CBSSports.com has a story on it. But it's the individualistic part of it. He goes on to say in other sports it's team aspects and all that.
Wouldn't LeBron want this?
Could be. Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't LeBron want this?
Yeah.
I think LeBron would love to have access to all of his highlights. Has his personal domain, and no one can use them except LeBron.
Yeah, and Mickelson goes on to talk about that. He said, they can get every swing of mine from here and there, and I can't. So, understandable a little bit. It's funny. Another part of the aspect of this that brought me to it was sports fans are getting turned off right now by baseball because they're arguing millions and billions. And now you have another athlete that's coming out and saying millions and billions. Sorry, sports fans, we really just can't understand it.
You guys bring that up all the time, though, and it is the truth that where the tone deafness is a dangerous thing. And in today's day and age, it's a very, very dangerous thing to be like. I see it from peers sometimes when people will go on their Twitter feed and rip a business or rip something where it's sort of like they're having a first world problem and they try to use their pulpit to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that really doesn't come off well if you're doing that.
Sure. So that's why I say we don't understand the business aspect of it because it's in the millions and billions. If you're a small ownership, you own your own business and you're fighting for something, we applaud you. Phil Mickelson, it's not his fault he's in a business that makes millions and billions, and he's fighting for something that he truly believes in. I'm not going to knock him for that. The timing of it, the having to come out in an interview about it, that's probably where I say, hey, Phil. And Brooks Koepka did come out and said, yo, Phil, you might want to tone this down a little bit. So it is. It's the elite complaining about more eliteness is basically what it comes down to.
Brooks Koepka wants to tell someone to tone it down?
Yeah, I forget. His exact quote was something like IDK, I don't know, maybe you want to tone this down, Phil.
Oh, boy.
Or no, it says, DK, if I'd be using the word greedy, I don't know if I'd be using the word greedy if I'm Phil.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's fair, but I bet Phil hated it.
I'm sure. But look, I could say to a friend, I could say to you if we were complaining about something to somebody and oh, John, hold on now. Hold on. Let's not go there.
If you'd say the free, let's say we had a client bringing in food, a delicious spread of food, and you go, oh my gosh, there's no, they didn't bring the hot buffalo?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way of putting it. And you would
say behind the scenes, Danny, one of us, Bob would be the one to go, I think we should just shut up about that.
They didn't bring the buttercream?
We were just thinking about those buttercream.
That's why it's fresh in
Philly
my mind.
Pretzel Factory, man.
But they always bring the buttercream.
Oh, they never.
And not only they bring they bring the brownie. And they bring the different mustards.
Oh, my gosh.
They bring a plethora. It's a cornucopia of dips.
And cornucopia is a word we don't use
And
enough.
any time they want to bring them, we're always appreciative. The day before we went to Tampa. The day before we went to Tampa, and they showed up with that giant.
Grabbed a couple of those for the plane ride and the trip down there.
No, you were eating it the next morning.
Yeah, well,
it's breakfast when you had forgotten the camera.
Because look,
do you
trust a place called? Well, it's a fact. Do you trust a place called Tampa Pretzel Factory? Because I sure.
I wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You're correct. I wouldn't think.
Nope, I'm out.
And I think bringing the pretzels brought the Eagles a little bit of luck.
What?
They lost.
Let's just go to break.
Yeah,
they got crushed.
They got
Wait, we got 5 more minutes.
They were never
in the game. 5 more minutes.
There was no luck there at all.
Pat, you feel good about baseball, though. How about that?
I do, and we talked about this a little bit earlier with the news that Major League Baseball has asked for a federal mediator. This is the best news that baseball fans could get.
Why don't people understand it, though?
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'm a huge hockey fan, and if there's one sport that knows about lockouts and work stoppages, it's the sport of hockey. And the only time that anything has ever been solved is usually by Donald Fair, who's a mediator, because you need a mediator in these situations because it's so heated. When you have meetings going on between two parties that last 20 minutes and 3 days go by and there is absolutely no counter proposal and both are, insulted by the offers, you need somebody to step in and go, oh, you guys are both being ridiculous. This is really the first step towards progress, I feel like. The first, I guess, step was them meeting in general, in person. The second step was them meeting back-to-back days. But this is really the biggest step that they could bridge the gap. And I'm pumped because this is really a sign that, not the pump man, but I am pumped. But this is a sign that I think baseball will indeed come back and there'll be an agreement pretty soon.
I would say get to work. Get to work, guys. Get to work.
I think with the NHL, it took 10 days. Sorry, Bob, but I think it took 10 days. After they got Donald Fair in there, 10 days later, they had an agreement. And this is two parties with the NHL Players Association and the NHL that were not seeing eye to eye. And they came together really quickly and saved that 2012 season, I want to say.
When Coach wasn't seeing eye to eye with you, what did we do? We sat Coach down and said, Coach, let's listen. Look at what Pat brings to the table. And Coach had to be. We brought in an arbitrator, and then you and Coach found common ground, right, Pat?
We fought it out. We had a fist fight.
Coach,
I let him sit at the kids' table.
I want to fight you.
Who would be the best arbitrator of us all?
You.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question. I think it'd be you.
Not that smart. I think you have to be smart.
I think you're very level-headed. I think you're the most.
Well, he's the most level-headed on the show. So if that's what we're looking for, Bob is the most level-headed.
Now that I think about it,
I was going to go Connor.
John's really good at posing both sides of an argument.
Yes.
And yesterday's it was a prime example with the Brian Flores conversation we were having. Was John was posing an argument, and you'd go, "Yeah, okay, I agree with that." And then John would pose the exact opposite point, and you're like, screw John Kincade. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right.
But in reality, you're just posing both sides of the argument. So you actually might be
but
better than Bob.
I think Bob, though, because Bob is inherently, I'm tough to move off of I am not as flexible on moving off an opinion as Bob is.
But you don't need to be, though. You just need to pose. You just need to bring both sides.
I got you. I tend to be very fair because I love to talk. I love the argument. I love hearing what the argument is.
Yeah, every once in a while we'll get into it, and you're not me and you, but somebody on the show, Bob or Jamie or me and Jamie or whatever, and the crap-eating grin on your face, man.
I love it. Like I love a good because I really believe this format, as long as it's again. And one of the things we try to do is try to change the tenor of the show constantly, where if we're at each other's throats on one thing, we want to switch the topic to something that just sort of lightens the mood. I don't like sports talk radio when it's 4 hours of, he sucks, fire him. But I'm all for 10 minutes of that. I'm all for 8 minutes of that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We've heard it and seen it.
I think you got to change your gears.
Coach, do you have a picture of Doug Peterson up there near you? In this studio?
Coach, is Doug with you?
Yeah, it's by me.
Aw. He was so happy this morning when I walked in. I saw Coach. I'm so happy for Doug Peterson having a job.
Oh, boy.
I said, I'm glad you're happy.
You know what that is? That's the fraternity. That's the coach fraternity.
That's it. You're right.
Coach
Good
Camille
call.
and Coach Peterson.
Coach is just a title, I mean, we all...
Oh, I thought you were a coach.
We all talk to each other.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You and Andy.
That's why
Spags.
That's why Doug's been on the show so many times. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I think it's a good. Yeah,
I think this is a one-way friendship.
I'm excited for. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for.
He should be excited. I mean, my God, you have an empty canvas with Trevor Lawrence down there, right? So you go in there and you're trying to improve on what was a very, very rough first year for him. And I'm not just talking on the field. I mean, the crap that surrounded Urban Meyer and everything down there. It's almost a great situation to go into because it can only get way better. Think of how Trevor Lawrence is going to look at Doug Peterson when he walks into a room just because it's not Urban Meyer.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting. Yeah, everybody roots for him. You root for everybody. I'll be anxious to see the play calling, the adjustments, all of that stuff that I don't think I saw here in Philadelphia.
Are we going to see adjustments?
I don't know. We'll see.
That's the
he's
king.
a great coach.
That is. I mean, look, I'm happy. I'm really happy for Doug Peterson. And again, when that story is told, and I see it already with, Byron Leftwich, shake my head. Byron Leftwich could have had the job.
Yeah, he pulled out.
He pulled out because he wasn't able to handpick his general manager. He wanted to get the job and said, I demand this man be fired and that my handpicked guy be in. Guess what? That's a gangster move. If you can pull it, anyone would applaud it. If you can get away with that, and he may get away with that elsewhere, but I have a feeling, what if Bruce Arians said to Byron Leftwich when he hears about the details of going to Jacksonville? What if he said to Byron, I got another year. I'm going to coach another year.
And then you?
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe that's what some reason Byron Leftwich pulled out of being the Jags coach. He's the one who decided. Either he has another job lined up like New Orleans. New Orleans is now. The request came in from New Orleans last night as soon as the Doug Peterson news broke. Either he knows he's got another job or he knows he's going to be the man in Tampa. I would believe. Because he just doesn't want to work for that GM. And God bless you. If you don't want to take a job working for somebody, God bless you.
Or maybe Bruce Arians has already told him.
Yes, maybe it's it.
I'm even thinking about this year.
Tom Brady made me doubt myself yesterday. Because he's smarter than me on this subject matter we're going to discuss. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense to me. It does. It's a John Kincade show here on The Fanatic. Hey, the Parx Casino Sportsbook app has got you lined up for the big game weekend, and you've got a week to get yourself ready. And winners, you need a game plan, right? Well, the Parx Sportsbook app is the game plan you need. It is awesome. 24/7 action right there in the palm of your hand. They also have the Parx Online Casino. So if you want to play some of the games on there, you're going to absolutely love it. Now, I like in-game wagering. I think it's sort of fun. If I see a game going one way or the other and I think I got a good handle on it, you can get in on the action even if you weren't in on it at the beginning. There's so many different ways to wager. The Sixers tonight, late night start. They are 1-point underdogs on the road. That seems suspicious to me. I'm jumping on the Parx Sportsbook app. I'm jumping on the Sixers. Use the promo code Kincade when you register at parxcasino.com/PA or you download the app and you get a risk-free bet up to $500. Get in on all the action right now. You're absolutely going to love it. It's the Parx Sportsbook app. It's game time. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
You can't just tag no offense on the end of something horribly offensive and act like it's okay.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
College basketball season is heating up, which means it's time for the Wendy's Wooden Watch. In 2002, I was honored to have received the John R. Wooden Player of the Year Award, which is presented to the country's most outstanding men's and women's player, who is also making progress towards earning a degree. This year, players like Chet Holmgren, Jaden Ivey, Nalissa Smith, and Aaliyah Boston are all vying for the trophy. So who will take it home? The 2022 John R. Wooden Men's and Women's Player of the Year Award is presented by Wendy's.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's. At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
This winter, Comcast Business is helping Team USA and businesses across America stay ahead during the Olympic Winter Games. Keep yours ahead, too, with reliable connectivity and secure solutions on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. And get access to over 20 million Wi-Fi hotspots from coast to coast to help you stay connected on the go. So no matter what big event comes up, your team can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security, together for just $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 Visa prepaid card when you order online. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go online today to learn more. Offer ends 2/2022. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts at my shop, but I just don't have the room. Every time I go in the back to get wiper blades, I trip over a dusty crate of Honda air filters, then bang my head on some GTO radiator hoses. eBay Motors never has that problem. They stock all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, with everything from new headlights to vintage gear shifters. I can't imagine being able to stock 122 million parts. I mean, where would I get all those shelves? eBay Motors. Let's ride.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Love. It makes us do crazy things, like being the first one to say, I love you, or adopting a cat together when you're more of a dog person. Celebrate the madness of love with a perfect Valentine's gift from Hellsberg Diamonds. Right now, half-carat diamond heart pendants in your choice of white, yellow, or rose gold are just $399.99, a savings of $400. Show her you're smitten with the gift of gorgeous jewelry at our best prices of the season. Hurry, Valentine's Day is Monday, February 14th. Shop at hellsberg.com or visit a store near you.
Looking for a checking account that's built for you? Whether you love earning cash back or don't want fees or a minimum balance requirement, Citadel Credit Union has you covered. Plus, get a $300 bonus. Easily deposit checks right from your phone. Receive instant account alerts to stay updated. And simply tap and go with your contactless debit card. For a limited time, get $300 when you open a new checking account at citadelbanking.com/radio. Citadel Credit Union. Building strength together. Federally insured by NCUA.
At 7-Eleven, we have fresh coffee 24/7. And if it's not fresh, it's free. That's 7-Eleven confidence. 7-Eleven, take it to 11. Offer ends 2/2/22. Participating stores. Refund must be at store of purchase. See 7-Eleven.com for terms.
At Via Roma Italian Restaurant and Sports Bar, fans enjoy authentic Italian family recipes passed down since 1969. Happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 2 to 4, and $2 Corona bottles during all Sixers games throughout the season. Via Roma, 3200 Ridge Pike in Eagleville, online at ViaRomaPizzaSB.com.
It's late action, but we do have NBA tonight. We've got the Sixers in action, and the question is, are you going to bet on it? Or are you going to wager some money? Are you going to win? Well, what if I told you can get a risk-free bet up to $1,000, and you can also build a same-game parlay? It's a reality at BetMGM. So here's what you do. You hop on the BetMGM app, or you hop on the BetMGM.com, or you download the BetMGM app. There's two ways to do this. And then you can build your same-game parlay. If you want to take the big man over in points, if you want to take the point guard over in assists, if you want to mess with the line, let's say that's Sixers minus 11.5, but you want to make it minus 7.5, you can do it. And you can build your one-game parlay at BetMGM. Plus, they're going to give you that first wager risk-free up to $1,000, but you have to enter the bonus code Pat Egan when you register. So when they register and they ask you for that bonus code, don't forget who told you about this. Pat Egan, and then your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age older to wager. New Jersey and Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. All promotions subject to qualification, eligibility requirements. Rewards if there's non-eligible free bets or check credit. Free bets expire within 7 days of issuance. If you're someone who knows a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Home of 76ers basketball and Flyers hockey.
Plug in.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Are you a foxhole guy for the John Kincade Show? Then prove it. Tap the 97.5 The Fanatic app all morning long, before and after your commute.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
So the boss thinks you shouldn't be watching Eagles videos today? Thinks that you're going down memory lane, you're listening to The Fanatic too much? Well, guess what? You can do better. I'm telling you right now. You just log off, walk over to the desk, hand in your key card, and tell the boss to shove it. He can take that job and stick it. Loverboy on The Fanatic. Happy Friday, everybody.
Every week, I fall for it.
Happy Friday, everybody. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic.
I forget every week, too.
Every single week, it
and I
kicks
have the
in,
same reaction.
And I give the dirtiest look to Coach because Coach puts it in. And Coach thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
Look, he's giggling over
The
there.
9 o'clock hour is brought to you by the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. Get your stay at Home Depot and Lowe's. And for details, go to Bagster.com.
It brings joy to my life.
It is a little joy. Have you ever said, take this job and shove it?
Not that way.
No, I didn't that way.
But, yes, I did on one job when I was a teenager.
And? Oh, you were a teenager. Was that the gas station guy?
No, that was...
Because you told sort of him, didn't you?
Well, yeah, kind of. No, this was at a local fast food restaurant that I said after the guy questioned my willingness to do things. And I said, yeah, this job sucks.
There you go.
This job sucks.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
I wonder where you were working.
Pat, did you ever tell
Are you kidding me? No.
See, now you'd be the one that I think would be most likely to do it.
No, I'm a little bitch. Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've told Coach a few words here and there, but it's after the ink dried on the contract, so I couldn't do anything about it.
Every time I'm in the Wells Fargo Center, and I look up and see number 16, I think of a day when I proudly did it. But I didn't say take the job and shove it.
Well, because you're not a lover boy.
But when
you weren't working for the weekend, you were no longer working.
When Bobby Clark literally told me I wasn't allowed to have a relationship with somebody, I said, well, no, I can't, and I won't. So
I love him.
There you go. Love it.
Lover boy.
There he is. By the way, Hembo has a great piece today. You hear him on the Mike Missinelli show, Westchester's own. Paul Hembo has because I'm not even going to attempt. Every time I try to say his name, I butcher it. He said there's the misconception that the Rams sold out for their success. What they did was exchange first-round picks for veteran certainties while stockpiling late picks. Did you know that since 2017, the Rams have made 45 picks after the first round, which is the second most in the NFL? I did not know that. I retweeted it out there for somebody to be able to look at it if you want. I did not know that. They've made the second most picks after the first round. So they stockpile later picks. And obviously Les Snead does a damn good job. And they've built a really nice team. But they'd rather say, do you want a first-round pick or do you want Matthew Stafford? Do you want a first-round pick or do you want Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah.
Do you want a first?
Look, I'm not going to argue
it. It plays into
it.
our conversation.
It does, yeah. I'm not going to argue with it. They could win a Super Bowl a week from Sunday.
They could.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it. You go all in. If that's what the byproduct of it is, congratulations to you.
I don't like doubting myself ever because I like to think that I'm really, really smart. Unfortunately, times there are people who can wound me by
I'm an idiot.
If I had an opinion on basketball and Jamie critiqued my opinion or didn't agree with my opinion, it doesn't affect me the way Bob's does. If I have an opinion on hockey and Bob was to critique it, it wouldn't damage me as much as if Pat Egan said, I disagree with that completely. Because there's just different people that you really value their opinions on certain skill sets. Tom Brady made me doubt my opinion on Jalen Hurts yesterday. And again, I think Jalen Hurts is a fine quarterback. I think he can be a winner. I don't think he can be a big winner with that arm. But Brady responded on social media yesterday to a congratulatory retirement tweet from Lamar Jackson by saying, "You're next," with the heart emoji. You're next. I found that a bit crazy. Other quarterbacks sitting in the NFL responded to Tom Brady's Instagram and everything like that, retirement. None of them got the "you're next" from Tom Brady. And I was saying to myself, is this the future of NFL quarterbacks? In the AFC alone, you got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and others. But then there was speculation that Lamar Jackson may be becoming the new face of TB12 in the NFL. He may be becoming the brand ambassador. That Lamar Jackson needs to take better care of his body, needs to have better. It almost sounds like the Baltimore, and then going and reading some of the stories out of Baltimore, that it sounds like the Joel Embiid story a little bit, like, we need you to eat better, we need you to sleep better, we need you to do more things. And as Chris Mortensen pointed out, no one is saying Lamar Jackson's out partying at night. But there have been questions about, what do you eat? Mm-hmm. Do you get enough sleep? Do you do like how do you do things? If Tom Brady's teaming up with Lamar Jackson, then I understand what the tweet meant. If he's not teaming up with him on TB12, I'm wondering, why did Brady just publicly say that Lamar Jackson is the heir apparent to be the next great quarterback, the next great GOAT? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. And it makes me doubt what I think about Jalen Hurts, because I think that there is even though he doesn't have Lamar Jackson's arm, there's a lot of similar skill set. But I wondered. Look, I'm getting knee deep in a tweet, in an Instagram message. But he didn't say that to Patrick Mahomes. He didn't say it to All the other quarterbacks that recognized his retirement, he said, "You're next."
Yeah, my first thought was that, wow, what does he see in Lamar Jackson? But then I thought, oh, no, there has to be a business aspect to it. There has to be something more to it. He's not
anointing Lamar Jackson.
I don't think so. There's no way. Not when there's Patrick Mahomes out there, not with all the people who said, you got Joe Burrow who's going to the Super Bowl in just his second year out there.
Correct.
At first I was like, what? And then I thought, my second thought was, oh, wow, does Lamar Jackson have eyes on going down to Tampa Bay? I don't know what his contract situation is. Like, they'll be looking for a quarterback.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
See, I didn't read it that way.
There?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the more I thought about it, the further down the list of he's the heir apparent was,
was down on your list.
Exactly, yeah.
Pat, what did you think when you saw it? Or did you see that before I brought it up?
I didn't see it, no.
He says, "You're next," with a heart emoji.
It's
to Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, other quarterbacks.
Nobody gets it but him. Yeah, that's
"You're next."
And they don't train together or anything.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
I
like
think
there's a personal relationship, right?
I think he might be the TB12 spokesperson.
That would make sense.
Because there is, and you can read about it where they've tried to, the Ravens think you need to eat better, you need to sleep better, you need to do these things. And that, not that Lamar Jackson's a partier or anything, but you need to take your game to the next level. That
would make sense, man. Because he's an incredible talent, no doubt. And I'm not saying he's not next, but right now there's a guy in the Super Bowl named Joe Burrow that I think a lot of us are going, he's next.
And I mean, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Herbert. I wouldn't think that Lamar Jackson would be any better than fourth on that list, maybe fifth.
But I didn't even think of it, the TB12 tie-in, because you're right. Now that Brady's out, they're good and
they need a brand ambassador.
Somebody, yeah.
Now, that's a conspiracy theory. Again, just a conspiracy theory because I can't believe that Tom Brady would look at all the young quarterbacks on the landscape and say to Lamar Jackson, "No, you're next."
I mean, he is a former MVP.
He is.
Yeah, he had a great year. He shocked the league.
Hell to watch, man.
He is fun.
Or frustrating. So my nephew lives down in Baltimore, has season tickets. He's 35 years old, whatever. He gets so frustrated with Lamar Jackson because as great as he was that year, what did he go like 36 touchdowns,
36-6, I think.
Yeah. He'll try to do too much because of his skill, and it leads to bad throws. And if you watch a little bit of Baltimore games, he'll throw some sidearm stuff. He'll throw some jump passes, and it's like, oh my God, what in the holy hell are you doing? But it's also, wow, look at that athleticism. So I see both sides of it.
I love his arm.
To get to your point a little bit more, is Tom Brady looking at Lamar Jackson and just seeing something that I don't want to say none of us, but many don't see, and therefore maybe we're wrong on the Jalen Hurts thing?
That's where I'm sitting. I'm wondering whether Tom Brady's telling me I'm an idiot. You're wrong. You're missing something about this guy.
We could have told you that.
I know.
Yeah, you don't need the greatest of all time to tell you. You got three guys sitting here right now. We're good.
Coach, you want to give him the hard truth?
Coach absolutely would say that. He would absolutely say that.
Wow.
Go ahead, man. Say it with your chest, Coach.
Coach would say that.
I'm out.
He's out.
Wow.
Coach is out.
Done.
All right.
Thanks for that
Good job, Coach. We love you.
Dynamite dropping money.
Like I said, I the more I thought about it, John, it's funny you brought it up. Yeah, the thought that Brady was saying he's the next one, that went way down on my list after a little while.
Reading a little bit too much into this, though.
Well,
maybe
no, I
Brady
think I am.
Maybe Brady just saw that one. He might not have seen the other ones. Just saw this one.
No,
hey, man.
he responded to the other ones.
He did? Okay. What did he say in the other ones? You're not next?
He didn't say you're next with a heart emoji. First of all,
he said you're not next with a thumbs down emoji.
The heart emoji.
Yeah.
Who do you use that for?
Franchise quarterbacks. I use it for franchise quarterbacks.
I usually use it for producers of our show.
I use it for my wife, my daughter. The heart emoji. Maybe someone that you have deep affection for. I don't know. That's a bold move. The heart emoji.
I use it for the bosses who pay my bills.
Do you really? You'll text
every time I text Joe Bell or
you do?
Chuck D'Amico. Sometimes I'll just text them the heart emoji just so they know.
Joe says,
thinking of you.
New phone, who dis?
No, it's a lot of times it's same phone, who dis.
Reminder that Joel Embiid will join the Mike Missinelli show Monday during the 4 o'clock hour. So make an appointment for that. Make sure that you are a part of it. Martin Law is the law firm for injured workers. I feel a little injured after that. Visit paworkinjury.com. So the Brian Flores story continues to get a little more confusing. The New York Giants have already offered they can produce all the documentation to show they did not have an agreement. When Brian Flores interviewed for their job, they did not have an agreement with Brian Dable. He, in fact, can produce documentation that he was still in the mix and debating between taking the Miami job or the Giants job. He was in the mix for both of those jobs. So that story has been debunked that Bill Belichick thought he knew the answer for, and they promise they can show you. Well, no, that wasn't the case because we had another interview with him. He was still talking to Miami. So they've debunked that. Now the Hugh Jackson portion of the Brian Flores story gets more confusing. He claimed the other day that he could prove that the Browns got him to tank games, but it had been struck down before by an arbiter. So I wanted to know, what did the arbiter strike down? We now know what his claim was. He had a bonus that was based on the average age of his roster. That if he had one of the youngest rosters in the NFL by age, he got a bonus. The age of his roster. So in other words, if you have a really, really young team and you're put at a disadvantage on being able to win, we're going to pay you cash. I would look at that as we realize that you're not going to be able to win as big, so we're going to make sure that you're incentivized to develop young players. He says, oh, well, I know that was a wink that I was supposed to lose. They're not giving me a chance to win. So he totally changes his tune on that I can prove that I was paid to and an arbiter had already said that's bull, because that was his reasoning. That they put in his thing, if you got I think it was one of the youngest 3 rosters by age, then you are going to get this bonus. He said, well, that means they were paying me to wink, and I didn't need the money. He said, I told him I didn't need the money. Now, according to one of the reports out of Cleveland, he took the money, but he reportedly told the owner, I don't need it. But reportedly, it was not rejected. So, to me, by the way, I want to make it clear, Brian Flores never asked Hugh Jackson to be a part of this. He never asked Hugh Jackson to speak up and back him. He never asked Hugh Jackson to be anything to do with it. The Brian Flores camp is like, Hugh Jackson is his own entity. And you brought that up the other day, that Hugh Jackson, he probably just did this on his own. Saw the opportunity and did it on his own.
It seems like it. I mean, the fact that Brian Flores hasn't really directed anything towards Hugh Jackson is different. Yeah, the Hugh Jackson stuff, like Pat said yesterday, I forget the exact term he used to describe Hugh Jackson.
Didn't you say loser?
No, it was
or something. I thought it was blunt.
But he's
crumb.
Yeah, and Jimmy Haslam, the owner of Cleveland, just came out and said, look, every time you talk to Hugh Jackson, he blames everybody else. He doesn't blame himself for a 1-36 record. Some of the stuff is confusing. Jackson says they wanted him to lose. They had a 1 and 2 year plan, which led to him going 1-30, whatever. But they didn't have a plan for me for years 3 and 4.
Right.
I don't understand. Like, I'm not being mean to Hugh Jackson. I don't know Hugh Jackson. I just don't understand what his point is here.
When you're hired in year 1, the folks at the Fanatic didn't sit with me and say, let's talk. We know the show's starting in 2021, but let's talk about 2023 and 2024. They said, get to work and do your show in 2021. I mean,
I'm not going to be here.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That, he's like, they had no plan. They had a plan for year 1 and year 2, but they didn't tell me any plan for year 3, year 4. Who are you? If you come in and crap the bed or do a terrible job in your job, what do you think? The day you're hired, somebody's saying to you, well, here's year 1 and year 2. Show that you're competent. Show that you get the job done. Then you get a year 3 and year 4. Then they want to have you around. But the big key is, and I think it's important for Brian Flores' case, and it's something I've been bringing up all week. He did not solicit Hugh Jackson to step up and go, oh, yeah, here's my story. Hugh Jackson did that on his own.
He's a media whore.
And I think it damages Brian Flores' case.
It does. Nobody wants to hear from Hugh Jackson.
And I think it damages his case, and it's not fair to Brian Flores that this guy tried to bogart what he believed to be a legitimate cause. And it just doesn't seem, It's obnoxious. Hugh Jackson, it's absolutely obnoxious.
There's probably going to be a few times in this where Brian Flores and his team put their hands on their heads and say, oh, no, we don't need that. We don't need this. What I said earlier in the show was, look, we all know, I think we all know, that Brian Flores has a case. There is a case to be made that the NFL is not doing its due justice in hiring minorities in key positions. We know that. What I'm getting worried about, and Brian Flores decided to take it on his shoulders.
Yes.
Here's what worries me over the last couple of days after seeing this. Did he rush into this? Did he and the group that he hired or whatever, did they rush into it? Because he just stopped being a candidate for a head coaching job. That means interviews, that means preparation, all of that. My wonder is, where did you have time to prepare this huge case? You're going against the NFL. The NFL, you're not like going against your neighbor down the street. You're going against the NFL. I just worry that did they rush to this to put this all together, and now you have the little cracks? Was a case of his owner saying lose games and I'll pay you? Was that just a little something on the side, or was that what you were building your case on? I just don't know. I hope there's bigger things that Brian Flores has on his side that makes this a case, and the other little things that are now being questioned, a text message, a conversation on a yacht, that those were just little side things.
Well, the one thing with Brian Flores' case, too, is he talks about the Bill Belichick text is what pushed him over the edge. That's what pushed him over the edge as far as the level of disrespect, the level of which we now know was false. Bill Belichick was wrong. The Giants had not hired Brian Dable. Brian Dable was still talking to Miami.
We don't know that for sure.
Yes, we do. No, they can. Yes, we can.
Who told you?
Oh, we haven't seen it yet.
No, but they
say they have.
They offered.
We haven't seen it.
John, so two NFL teams who have stake in this have said, well, we didn't know.
No.
And then Brian Dable, who is a head coach.
They said, here is my. They can show you. Here's my conversation. They said flat out, we will show you, because the Giants are under a fire here. Brian Dable will go, I'll show you where we were still talking to Miami. We were still in negotiations with potentially to be the Miami or the Giants coach.
The Giants can leak out who they're heavily interested in and still not have it 100%. You know.
Wait a minute, Bo.
Because the text message it says I hear you're their guy.
No, that's what Bill Belichick said.
Bill Belichick might have heard that Brian Dable was their guy.
He may have heard that, but the thing is, the job was still Brian Dable could have still chosen the Miami job. And reportedly, the big thing is, if he wanted the Miami job, he probably would have gotten it.
He might have, but if you're Brian Flores at this point, who you probably don't think should have been fired, and now you're going into an interview process where you're hearing they've already got their guy, that would piss me off.
Yeah, but Dable could have
pissed me off tremendously.
But Dable, at the time that Brian Flores was interviewed, Brian Dable was not already hired, and Brian Dable was still in deep negotiations with Miami.
Well, and the text message didn't say. It didn't say he'd already been hired.
It was wrong, though.
No, but the text messages weren't wrong. The text message didn't say
that's
Brian
an opinion.
Dable has
All
been
he
hired.
did was offer an opinion, and it was an opinion that's not based in fact.
He might have been looking at it like, I'm going into a lame duck interview. They're doing this for the Rooney
He
Rule.
may have, but he was wrong. Because Brian Dable was still in deep negotiations to maybe go to Miami.
How is he wrong, though? Bill Belichick said, I think Dable's their guy, and then they hired Dable.
Because Dable could have gone to Miami. And it was still, even the day after the day after Flores was interviewed, Brian Dable was in deep negotiations with Miami.
He was in such deep negotiations, he didn't go there. I mean, where would you rather go, Miami or New York?
Well, you chose your spot.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Wait a minute.
We've talked about conspiracy theorists this whole show, and I say one conspiracy theory that I believe that they already had their guy in Dable, and you're like,
so you're
blown
saying
away by this.
So you're saying he created a trail of that he can prove. He says they can show.
But they say that. We don't know that they can. I mean, just like
wait a minute. You guys are assuming other people are liars.
Yes. I'm assuming the NFL is protecting their brand and
so they're now creating a trail. Brian Dable and the Giants.
This is the good old boy network.
Pat, Brian Dable and the Giants can both produce their own. Brian Dable wasn't even their employee at the time, and he can produce. He says they can produce where they were still with Miami the day. More than almost 48 hours after Brian Flores.
And Flores says he can produce also that they offered him money.
So, Pat, what you're claiming then is that to keep this deep fake going, they created a whole fake trail of emails.
That's unbelievable.
After the fact?
That's really unbelievable.
No, wait, after the fact.
Yes, that part is unbelievable. That the NFL would be so staunch to protect their brand that they would fake
saying
emails?
these
yeah,
people,
I believe that.
But you're making all these other people.
I got my tinfoil hat on, Johnny.
But you said yourself that somebody's lying. If Flores says he was told something and the other side says no, we didn't say it, somebody is lying.
No, Brian Flores got a text from Bill Belichick on Bill Belichick heard something that ends up being, why are people believing? Well, Belichick had to be right.
That ended up being true.
In the long run, he was negotiating with two teams.
Yeah, he was trying to play them against each other.
And this is what he should be doing. But it wasn't over.
But that doesn't mean that the New York Giants didn't, quote, have their guy. They wanted to hire Brian Dable.
They may have won him. And you know what? The Miami Dolphins did too.
They also had to do an interview with an African-American head coaching candidate that they might have not had any interest in. So 2 days beforehand, you find out that they've already, quote, got their guy, and you're going in there for an interview?
He's not.
You're a lame duck.
But he's Miami's guy.
And they've hired there's six coaches been hired, and they're all white. What does that tell you?
The conspiracy theory is great. The old idea, though, is you don't actually believe they created fake emails.
I believe
because
it's
they say
100%
they can create
possibility that they've created fake emails.
No.
Yeah.
You have to believe that they did.
Up.
No, you have to believe that they did. Not that they could have. Of course they could have.
Then then I'll believe that they did. Because
oh my gosh,
you think the NFL's covered up how much, and you're thinking they can't produce a photoshopped email?
Oh my gosh, I can't wrap my brain around that. You'll just assume other people are all liars.
You assume that Brian Flores is a
No,
liar.
I don't. I'm not. I'm not saying
then
he's.
I'm sorry.
I didn't say he's a liar. What I'm saying is he believed Bill Belichick's. He believed Bill Belichick's text message, and it pissed him off, and he believed it. And Bill Belichick's text message, he was incorrect.
John, thank you for listening.
I'm not listening to you anymore. Hey, guess what? I am going to listen for the Pat. No, I amend that. I will listen to you because Stan Pat comes your way next. It wraps up your week, and it's always full of hearts and flowers. We'll get to
That's
it
one way to
next.
put it.
Oh, man, somebody's getting kicked in the privates. Coming up. Thanks, Sixers Mavs tonight on The Fanatic. John Kincade Show here on The Fanatic.
The John Kincade Show.
I know that most people find his calm leadership to be a gentle, soothing beacon at a time of great social chaos.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Football Friday on The Fanatic is brought to you by Pump Man Philly. Need a water pump expert for your facility? Contact Pump Man Philly, the guys to know to fix your flow.
Hey, it's Jamie Lynch from The Morning Show. I'm on the line with Luke from PropSwap. Luke, the happiest people in the world right now in the gambling world are the people that were smart enough to unload some San Fran and Kansas City tickets using PropSwap. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yep. One specific ticket was purchased for $200 during that Packer game. He sold it before they lost to the Rams for $1,500.
How does that apply to the big game coming up in about a week?
So we have the biggest Bengals ticket in the world. PropSwap customer bet $100 on the Cincinnati Bengals at 300 to 1 odds. In September, that $100 wager is now worth on PropSwap $12,000.
That is awesome, and that's why PropSwap is a tool every gambler should utilize, especially now as we're winding down. Luke, that's great stuff. We'll talk again next week before the start of the big game and how to utilize PropSwap better for that.
Thanks, Jamie. Looking forward to it.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash-out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is licensed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Banking. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
This week's Pro to Watch is brought to you by Bradford White. Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best. Sixers center Joel Embiid regains the spotlight this week as he continues to post monster MVP numbers. In the last 10 games, Embiid is averaging 32 minutes and just over 35 points per game. In that 10-game stretch, Embiid had 8 double-doubles. Embiid also became the first player in Sixers history to have 30-plus points in 14 of 15 games. And oh, by the way, Joel is getting to the foul line more than any other player in the NBA right now, averaging 12 trips to the charity stripe. For exceptional hot water performance for your home or your business, ask a plumbing professional about installing a Bradford White water heater. Whether it's a gas or electric, tank or tankless, how you heat your water matters. So choose the quality, efficiency, and reliability of Bradford White for your starting lineup. To learn more and find a pro near you, visit BradfordWhite.com.
It's hard to get out of bed on these cold mornings. Walking into a cold bathrooms is the worst. If you're like many people, you've gone the space heater route to make certain rooms in your house livable. Mike Miss here with an important reminder from my electrician, Dan Namero at Farron Electric. Now, space heaters are great, but if you don't have a dedicated circuit for those space heaters, they can be dangerous. So don't take any chances. Call Farron Electric at 484-316-0449 or online at farronelectric.com. That's Farryn electric.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
This is Unibet, one of Europe's leading betting apps. And this is Nigel. Hello. Nigel has just been promoted from head of Unibet Europe to head of Unibet US. Nigel doesn't know anything about American sports.
QB Scramble. That's some sort of American frittata?
Download the app or visit pa.unibet.com. Get $500 risk-free and take advantage of the odds before Nigel figures them out. Unibet. Crazy about the odds.
Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Care has the power to bring kindness where it's needed. It brings out the best in every one of us. It doesn't just see people. It takes time to understand them. It puts the needs of others ahead of its own. And when you start with Care, you end up with a very different kind of bank. Truist. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
I need postcards printed and designed. Oh, and a targeted direct mail campaign.
It's possible at Staples.
I need my presentation printed, bound, and perfect.
Also possible. With Staples Print Big Promise, your small business marketing will make a big impact. And right now, get 20% off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 2/26. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
When you watch Team USA go for the gold, you don't just want Wi-Fi that's fast. You want Michaela Schifrin fast. You want Eat My Powder, blink and you'll miss it, I ski faster than you drive fast. You want Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig, power all your devices and watch every single wow-worthy moment fast. You want gig speed internet from Xfinity.
Watch Team USA with Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig. Or get started with Xfinity Internet for $29.99 a month for 12 months when you add Xfinity Mobile with no term contract required. This offer ends March 7th, so go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Performance Pro 200 megabit per second Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gigabit Internet and compatible gateway. Gig speed Wi-Fi is shareable across all devices. Actual speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
We are reinventing what sports talk radio can be. Whether we improve it remains to be seen.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
I could pull up to the light with this, Pat, right?
Absolutely not.
No, I can't?
No,
It would
not,
just
not
really
if
look
you,
embarrassing?
Yeah, you'd ruin the song for everybody.
Hey, when you're on public transit, be sure to look up and speak up. What if I was on public transit?
Ask Bob to stop doing what he's doing right now for the YouTube crowd. Please stop. Thank you.
They can't see me.
If you see something suspicious, report it by texting GO1776, calling pound 1776, or the Look Up Speak Up app. And we talk about all these things on the show yesterday. And what did I get the most email feedback yesterday about?
I think I know.
What?
Dental hygiene.
Brushing your teeth while walking around the house.
Congratulations, by the way.
What?
I heard you just signed endorsement deals with a toothbrush company.
That would be good.
Oral B.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oral B. Very funny. Very fun.
BJ's Wholesale Club.
Those are great lines.
Congratulations, buddy.
Pat, those are great lines. We should give you a segment. We're going to have that coming up. I would Crest 3D White. I will gladly take Crest 3D White as a endorsement. Love it.
You will scope.
Love it. No, I'm a Listerine guy. Listerine purple. It's got to be the purple. I'm like, what is his name from the Raiders?
You might want to look up the history of Listerine. It might change your opinion on it.
Got to be Listerine. Listerine purple.
Okay.
I buy it at the Costco.
Used to be a floor cleaner.
Well, guess what? My breath's minty fresh because of it.
Make out with him, Bob, and tell me if this is true.
Now, strangely enough,
do it for the show.
Strangely enough, Woody joins us on the show right now. Woody,
I'm a big Woody.
Hey, Woody.
Hey guys, it's been a while.
What's going on, brother?
So it's been well. So I've been busy. I have not been able to listen. My apologies.
We love you though. We love you anyway.
So, love you guys too. So John, this is just strictly for John. I'm trying to just understand I understand what you're doing, the contrasting views. So I'm trying to understand your perspective. Like, you made me agree with Pat. I love Pat, but
you can tell Woody's like, that just makes me feel
it
gross.
makes me want to agree with Pat. Here's my perspective, Woody. I'll put a quick summary on it for you. I do not assume people's guilt, and I also do not assume that because Bill Belichick texted somebody that the Giants already had their guy, that Bill Belichick knew what he was talking about. And I also do not believe for a second that Brian Daboll is going to go back and create false emails and stuff like that to be able to document that he was still considering the Miami Dolphins job and negotiating with Miami. I do not believe all those things. I just believe that he reacted to Bill Belichick's email, his text messages, I should say, and got pissed about it. We all know it's legitimate. Like, Woody, we're in a complete agreement. There's a case to be made against the NFL on this. There absolutely is. There's no question with the amount of qualified guys who've been passed over far too often, they don't do a good enough job with it. But I'm going to tell you, I don't assume people's guilt. I want to see facts.
And I don't assume people's innocence. So
I do. I assume innocence because that's what this country is.
I'm a highly educated black man in America, and I cannot assume people's innocence.
Okay.
And that's the only perspective.
No, that's fair, though.
But I got your point. That's all I wanted to understand.
But, Woody, that's the thing is, though, Woody, it's a good point because that's what we always talk about on this show is why we don't do the show before the show, is perspective. Your perspective is different than mine, and I always just try to give – I'm a guy who always tries to give the benefit of the doubt and say, what is it? And many times I'm proven to be wrong. And I'll tell you, I'm sure you've heard me say I'm a sucker a lot of times.
I'm an idiot.
I get suckered in.
And I want to be proven wrong. So I get your point.
All right, man.
I completely understand, guys.
All right,
Take
Woody.
it easy.
Take care, man. See you soon.
Thank you for listening, Woody.
Yeah, I always love Woody when he checks in. Woody hasn't
I love that he. Oh my God, I had to agree with Pat.
Yeah, you could tell
The
it pained him to
disappointment
say-
in his voice, man.
He tried to curtail it by saying, "Yeah, I love Pat," but
Woody invited me out to something that I want to go see when the weather's nicer. He was at this event, and I said, "That looks so cool." It was in West Philly, and it was street boxing. They literally had a boxing ring, like built up on the street, like up off of like I guess they had block lanes of traffic.
I was wondering what Tommy Gunn was up to these days.
And I would love to see that because I am fascinated by people who can box. I'm fascinated by boxing and to see it up close. And he said, "Well, we'll have you out sometime." And I think it was youth boxing, that it was like younger people that are into boxing, and they were literally like the people were out like on the street surrounding this ring that was put up on the street. I said, "I want to see that," so I'm going to come out. Woody said, "We'll work it out sometime."
I remember.
I'll come out to it.
You can be one of the ring girls.
No, I'm not doing that.
I remember being in the Daily News office one time, and one of our guys came in from covering something at the Blue Horizon, and he comes in and he puts his notepad down. And he's like, I could tell the way I said, "What is going on with you?" He goes, "You've never really covered a boxing match until your notes are full of blood."
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Coach Cheney told us the kids from WRTI once that we really weren't getting the full Temple North Philly experience unless we'd gone to the Blue Horizon.
Oh.
It was freaking unbelievable.
I used to get chills just looking up the steps that led to it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. All right, every Friday we've created this new tradition now where your Friday is going to have a big bow put on it, and we've tossed the keys to Pat Egan. This is Stan Pat.
It's time to stand pat. Here's Pat.
What an open.
I love that. Here's Pat.
What an open. Yes, Coach spent a long time on that
It's time
one.
for Jamie's World. Here's Jamie.
All right, as usual, we start off with a little more of the serious stuff. Earlier this week, John talked about fairy tales.
Ramona Shelburne, who I really respect, I am convinced she either believes in fairy tales on this story or she got used. I know sometimes you have to pander and craft a story in order to get it from the source, but what I read yesterday was a fairy tale.
All right, now my question to you is, after hearing her on the Woj podcast, and more importantly, after hearing her with Anthony Gargano, have you maybe changed your opinion on this, that she was believing of the story and she was kind of carrying water and all that?
No, because here's what changed it. Hearing Ramona snicker and do the Ben Simmons voice, and Bob pointed it out yesterday on the show, where Ramona talks about what Ben Simmons was feeling, and she sort of does that, like the voice. She did Jamie's wife voice when Jamie does that. That made me go, okay, she didn't get suckered in. She just told the story that she was told and didn't buy into it at all. So absolutely, that's where I learned it yesterday.
Yeah.
When you brought when that audio told it. But reading it, I didn't feel that way at all.
No, she just did her job. Like somebody, look, if I was covering the Sixers and Elton Brand called me and said, "Hey, for the record, we're going to trade Tyrese Maxey and they're willing to give up LeBron James for him one-on-one," I wouldn't believe him for a second, but it sure as hell is my job to write it because that's what he said.
And that's where Bob knows his industry better than I do.
Well, Bob usually doesn't get too carried away on the show. He's pretty level-headed, as we discussed earlier. But earlier this week, I don't know what got into Bob, but it was something fierce.
We haven't had any sustained success in this city. Hell yeah, I'm going all in. Look, the Phillies won it in 08. We thought that was going to be a great 5-6 years because you had 3 top players, you had good pitching. They won 1 World Series. The Eagles, surprisingly, were doing well in 17, went out and got another running back, and when they did, on these airwaves, me and Jamie we're all like, oh my God, they're going all in for the Super Bowl. Yup, and they won it. The Flyers have been trying to buy that one more guy that'll put us over the top. They haven't won a damn Stanley Cup in almost 50 years. The Sixers went through a process in order to have sustained success. They can't get out of the second round. Damn straight, John. I'm buying in. I'll do a one-year wonder. I don't give a flying rat's ass if it only means 1 year I win a title. Give me the damn title.
Flying rat's ass, Pat. Does that mix metaphor? That's a mixed metaphor. Because isn't it a flying flu?
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to question Bob in that moment. I'm just going to let
Bob,
him go.
in Jersey, do rats' asses fly?
We don't have rats in Jersey. I only see them when
Yes,
I
you do. You
I only
guys
see
talk
them when I
about
cross the bridge.
You guys talk about them being under the underpasses. That you see the Rat family.
No, that's when I crossed the bridge into Philadelphia.
Oh, I thought you saw it.
They have trails and everything.
See, I try to give you, a compliment. And that's
Thank
what
you.
do.
I appreciate you, Pat.
The next one is the guy who isn't here to defend himself, but he was defending his brethren.
Oh, okay.
He was defending the rich of America and their parenting style.
I sort of think that the parents got to parent the kids.
Yeah, they do, and they do whenever I'm sure they're home. But like,
They do when they're
She's got a secondary responsibility.
She has 35 million followers. She's a huge music celebrity star that's
so
very
over
busy.
her children, her 35 million followers need content.
So, for context here, if you didn't catch that part of the show, Jamie was defending Sierra, basically saying that she is well within her right, which I guess is true, to have a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week nanny au pair to raise her children because of the fact that she has 35 million followers and she has to cater to.
She has to create content. She's exhausted.
Has to. She can't raise her kids. It's too much. She's got Bobby in South Dakota that she's got to worry about before raising little
He
Sierra
comes
and
out
Russell.
with a perfect, hey, it's her right. It's okay. And then he goes to she's got 35 million followers. And I was like, oh, geez, come on.
I used to feel sorry for the kid going to, like, Mommy and Me or Daddy and Me class that the au pair was taking them.
Well, how hot was the au pair?
She was,
What up?
Hey.
Okay. Next up, we have Bob, who just said something dumb.
Did you guys see Peyton Manning on Saturday Night Live?
Oh, he was awesome. He's hilarious.
There's nothing. I swear to God, I am convinced there's nothing that guy can't do.
Nothing?
All true. All true.
Nothing. He can fly a spaceship.
If he was asked to, he would learn it and do it. Yes.
He could code a website that would take down Google and Bing combined.
Within minutes.
All right, well, I can't argue with him. I mean, he's telling me he believes it, so...
Did you see his comedic timing on that night,
It was
Pat?
really good.
Come on, there's nothing he can't do. Nothing.
And he was doing, and by the way, he was doing that off a prompter. It was creative, but he was doing it off a prompter. Yeah. His cadence and everything, he's brilliant.
And even when he misread or mispronounced the word, he had enough timing to make a joke of it.
He's unbelievable.
He's good.
I just want to know how much he actually writes, but his comedic timing is pretty good.
No, I don't think he writes it.
I got hung up on there's nothing he can't do. I think there's probably a few things.
Nothing.
The American Association for Cancer Research wants to know, could he become a researcher?
If you asked him to, he would probably be one of the best in the country.
We're trying to cure cancer here.
Now, look, on this show, we all take shrapnel, as you've seen, all right?
We do.
That also means that the man who just walked out of this building, Coach Camille, takes as well.
Oh,
We like to say Coach knows stuff. Well, the only thing I know for sure is that Coach is an idiot sometimes.
Hey, scientists consider it less likely to rain on Mondays than any other day of the week. Did you know that? Coach says the main working theory today is that Mondays carry less pollution over the weekend. So that means less dust in the air, which actually influences rainfall.
That sounds made up.
So Coach lets
I'm not
that
believing
be.
that at
Coach
all.
lets that be known.
Yeah, I think this is Coach makes up things.
Yeah, Coach is just making up facts and putting it on our sheet so that we look like idiots going on the air with it, and then we get tweeted that that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, this is where Coach basically did the Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street. He starts you off with the real stocks, and then he peddles the crap onto you. He started off with the real facts, and now he's peddling off which day of the week it rains on. And then he walks out. He can't even face the facts.
Doesn't even defend himself. Runs out of here
It's
like
amazing.
a little girl.
He's a coward.
Yeah,
now,
he
one
is.
person that we haven't...
As Anthony would say, like a...
Yeah, one person we haven't talked about is yours truly. I think every league at this point knows that you're not watching an all-star game. You know, other leagues do it better than some. I mean, the NBA is going to get some ratings, but it's still not.
NBA ratings are huge for the All-Star game.
Are they really?
Yeah, they do well.
I will
They
shut
do
up,
well.
man.
It's a big event.
I still love the dunk contest.
Not know what I'm talking about, then. Yeah, that is me talking directly out of my ass.
It was
on a topic I have no idea.
Highest rated game. Like,
you know what's cool about it, though, Pat? You're very consistent on
Yes.
that.
Yes.
It's almost
Bad
once a day
takes.
that we hear you say, "Oh, I'll just turn off my mic."
Yeah,
then."
well,
So-
look, I mean, you got to own it in this industry, right? You're going to be wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
wrong
appreciate that
more
about
than
you.
a lot of people.
I love that. If someone was to say to me that one of the number one things I love about our show is that
we'll
we're
own
all, we own it and we call each other out on stuff and we get it wrong.
Nobody likes to know it all.
Works.
Last thing that we'll play, you talked about it a little earlier. Johnny teaching us how to do it right.
You have your mouth open and you have liquid and stuff in
I
your
think
mouth.
we're being a little dramatic.
When you brush
Keep
your
doing
teeth,
that for the YouTube.
when you brush your teeth, I guarantee you that it would be spittle.
Can you
There is
do it
spittle
again?
out there.
Can you do it one more time?
No, I Listen to Bob's laugh.
You got to go online and watch the
There's
video.
definitely a spittle for sure.
There's a little phlegm. Anything else that happens? It's not mayonnaise.
I'm telling you. I think Jen.
Kills 99% of germs, Johnny.
I think Jen Scordo may be the serial killer. Bob's had a lot of laughs today.
I think we just have to break and start Cuz's show early. I think we got to end on that note. Johnny Kincade showing you how it's done on YouTube.
You're brushing the teeth.
You got to go on our Twitter account or our Instagram, watch the video. It's well worth it, but yeah.
Bob's laugh, though, was spectacular.
Well, it was
funny. So raw. It was so. That was beautiful. It was terrible.
It was
Do you know how many texts? How many?
I sent it to a couple females that I know.
got inundated yesterday with that. It's just terrible. Anthony Gargano's with us. Sometimes,
sometimes things just hit you funny.
Sometimes you're the windshield. Sometimes you're the bug.
Yes.
In this.
Yes.
Got splashed yesterday. My gosh. I believe one of my neighbors said to me, I may never, as he's putting out the trash can, I may never brush my teeth again.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I looked at you, like, when I walked in, I went, and I almost had to suppress
You almost
it.
gave me you gave me the cuz look. There's a disapproving cuz look. Do your boys know it? The look.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the look.
Yes.
Where they know to sort of sit up straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I sort of felt that when you walked in. Come on.
Yo, bro.
Johnny, look, dude.
Come on, man.
Dude, glad to have you home, but still, seriously.
Come on, man.
Don't do that.
No, don't ever do that again.
I don't know what you picked up down south. I believe it's what you said off the air. I don't know what you guys did down there, but that don't fly here.
I probably watched that maybe 10 times yesterday.
And you said your wife watched it.
Oh, my
and
God.
she was
I
laughing
walked into the house, and she was laughing. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good.
She's a keen woman.
I love that.
Oh, my God.
It's just, boy, it gets it on again. 4 years ago, I listened to you that day. I listened to you the day
That's
after the
awesome.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I had it on the app and everything. I flew in on the red eye. Didn't have to work till the afternoon, and I flew. And all I wanted to hear that day, I wanted to hear what everybody was saying.
Yeah, Johnny, that it was amazing, man. I think back to it. I can't believe it's 4 years, and obviously it's the theme today. But I'll never forget the air of knowing, right? Like of actually believing and knowing they were going to win the day of.
When did the morning you woke up? I swear to you, I felt it.
Everybody did. I think we all, listen, I'm a believer in the universe, right? And cosmic forces.
So am I.
Right? And I truly believe everyone tapped into it. I did a show at the Grand Cafe.
Yeah.
Right?
You were at L'Aquila that morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like a 3-hour just orgy of birds and fun, and it was that.
And it was
EAGLES all day, right? Everybody. It wasn't fandom because listen, I did the lead up to the Super Bowl in Jacksonville on the other station.
And we were there.
Right.
They were doing that. I was doing my show.
Right.
You were doing yours.
And I remember the 3 hours being in a tent along the St. Charles River.
St. John's River.
St. John's, thank you. And I'm looking and I'm going, wait a second. We felt good, but it wasn't like.
You didn't feel the same way you felt
No.
Yeah.
And this one, we all knew. Everybody knew we were going to win. It was amazing.
That was one of the coolest days ever. So you had Anthony did a show at Grand Cafe L'Aquila to lead up to the pregame show, which I did. And
yes.
But I can't remember who
Where
I was
were
with
you?
or something. We were at the casino down by the
yes, that's right.
So we did that right up until game time, and it wasn't that feeling of, oh my God, here we are. It was people were real about it, like they're going to win this game.
Yes,
confidence.
It was, and it wasn't a fandom confidence. Anthony put it perfectly. It was a knowledgeable confidence.
They knew it. They felt it in their soul. And thank you, by the way, because I actually stayed on the air an extra hour.
Yeah.
Because I asked, I go, you mind if I stick around for the? I didn't want to stop.
It's amazing.
And Bob was kind enough to say, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was a great day.
That was so much fun. It is the day that I said this morning, and it makes you. It's sort of it's a little bit pathetic. when I say marriage, birth of my child. My wedding and the birth of my child, it honestly is, then it's a toss-up. Anything else that I've ever experienced, because I can feel it viscerally.
Yeah, but it's not pathetic, because what it encompasses is all the people you love and your life, the history,
Memories.
the timeline of your life. That's what the Eagles represent. It's not like it's strictly about the football. It's about what it represents, and that's why it's not trivial.
Love it. Hey, it's going to be more of that on Cuz Radio today. A little trip down memory lane, and you may trip because everybody may be inebriated. They were 4 years ago. Support life-saving cancer research. Join us and our generous partner, Pierce Phelps Bryan Heating and Air Conditioning. Make a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research today at 97.5 The Fanatic /AACR, because cancer research saves lives. Haley, thank you for showing up today. We appreciate it.
Practice paid off, John.
Hope Connor is okay and doesn't come back with a broken leg or anything like that. Coach, enjoy your weekend. Hope Jamie has a lot of fun. For Pat and Bob, we'll be back on Monday. The John Kincade Show, Monday at 6. Super Bowl week begins here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The John Kincade Show.
Say it. I'll say it. Loser, putz, dork, doof, dink, schmo, dingus, goober.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Get affordable internet that delivers the speed and reliability you need, and get more value when you add Xfinity Mobile. Now, qualifying customers can get Xfinity Internet free through the Affordable Connectivity Program. That's right. The Affordable Connectivity Program allows Xfinity to provide free high-speed internet to qualifying customers. And Internet Essentials customers can get equipment included at